Hey everyone, Arsenal fan circle here. It is quite a weekend. We've just been talking about this. Quite a weekend. One of those weekends where you get your 3 points, you watch the game, you enjoy the game, you get your 3 points, you sit back and watch all of the entertainment unfold in front of you. And we've just had really very recent entertainment. I think we probably have to start with that. You know. Um, First of all, introductions. Matt, welcome back again.
Thanks for having me back, Ray. Good to see you. Good to see you, Tony, too. Hi, everybody in the chat. Welcome tonight.
Hey, Tony, how are you? You just
Huh?
got in underneath the buzzer. We just got started, and you just dropped in.
Yeah, I snuck in there.
Snuck in the back door, snuck in backstage, but it's all good. Listen, the most recent thing, Tony, Manchester United 0, Liverpool 5. I think we have to talk about this, and I've been saying I think the wheels have come off, Tony, and they've come to the end of the road. The road is ended. It's a dead end.
It's kind of funny you want Ole fired so bad, but you don't want Arteta fired.
Well, Ole is the manager of a rival team.
What did they finish last season?
What?
What did they finish last season?
Second?
What did they finish the season before?
I don't know. Further down? What's
Third.
your point? Third. So you think they're moving forward?
They're kind of staying up there.
All right.
Looks to me like the bus has veered off the motorway and gone off into a ditch to me. It's just not looking good, is it?
Gary, thanks for joining.
They shouldn't got Ronaldo. They screwed up.
Yeah.
Hi, Gary.
Gary,
hello. Hey, Ray. Hey, Matt. Hey, Tony.
The wheels have come off of United and they've come to the end of the road. I think this has got to be the end of the road for Ole.
Yeah. Well, I would say yes and no. He needs to hold on a little bit longer, right?
We want that.
Yeah. I mean,
sure.
I mean, in general, it doesn't. He could win the next 10 matches, and it shouldn't really matter, right? Once again, it has nothing to do with whether the results is whether or not you see a future with what's going on. All right. I mean, how long do you have to wait for them to make that decision, right? What have you seen in the last number of years that shows you that he's going to make that jump? He's going to make that put his team in that position, right? Nothing, right? Nobody expects him to get where they want to be. Can they compete with the top three? It used to be a top four people would talk about in terms of who had a chance, and today they just proved that they're not anywhere closer than anybody else below them, right? I mean, you look at the Chelsea and Liverpool, they're winning matches 3-0 easy, right? City will give you a chance right now, it seems, but they can. I don't think they're even in full. They're not where they want to be yet, I think, as a team. So I mean, De Bruyne wasn't even playing much, right? So yeah. So I think think about Liverpool didn't even play with Mane today for much of that match, and he's one of their starters. So they're not even playing with their starters on the road, and they're still out 3-0, 4-0. So
they have a capable replacement in Diego Jota.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but okay. Are you saying that they're equal, or are you saying I believe it's Mane's position to lose, right?
I don't know.
You're saying Jota is better than Mane.
No,
he's a very, very good replacement.
No, I'm not saying. Okay, you got to listen to the question. It's like, somebody who's comparable to Conte. It's still Conte's job to lose. He's going to have to look really poor for him to be sitting on the bench in a big match. Right?
I would say, Gary, to answer your question, that time is coming soon. The Mane's star will fade and Jota will come forward. But I said a capable replacement. In a squad game, that's all you want, right? You want somebody to slot in and do an equal or not worse job. You know?
He definitely gets the job done. I mean, I don't think any of us wouldn't mind a Jota on our side, to be honest.
Yeah, no,
we take him.
I'm not. You're. I'm saying when they were winning Champions League and they were winning the league, Mane was the man. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, Jota is probably going to be the replacement future if they decide to go in a different direction. But until he hasn't shown that yet, that his form has dipped that much that Jota would take his spot if it's a competition between the two. But no. They've got, this is no different than City, right? City goes to their bench. They have a full 11 sitting on their bench. Nobody else has that right now. Even the Chelseas and the Liverpools don't have 11 players on their bench that they can just put in and say, you know what, we can still compete with everybody that we play.
On the prediction podcast that we did earlier this season, I predicted Manchester United to win the league. That I think now we can say was I'm going to put a big X against that. Matt, do you think that's it? They're not going to win the league this year.
I can't see it now. I think your Chelseas, your Cities, your Liverpools are too strong. I don't think they'll be able. Those points that they're dropping at the moment, I don't think they'll be able to make that up over the course of the season because I just can't see the other teams up there dropping that many points either. So no, I can't see it happening. Although I didn't write Liverpool off, but I thought they would. I think I predicted third place this year. I think I might be wrong. I think they might be pushing second first this year.
The Assemble say good evening, quite a good weekend. We need to play on Fridays more often. Yeah, and Tony, it's definitely nice to get your 3 points on a Friday and sit back and watch everything unfold Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I was just happy that we played for a full 90 minutes and actually looked like playing good football for once.
Yeah. Kevin Campbell says, I'm telling you, it's the players. It's the players, Gary.
Okay, two things. I guess one is, yes, it was good to play on Friday and not have to worry about anything for the rest of the weekend. I mean, I only team that I cheer for that I had to cheer for this weekend was Arsenal, and they won. Everybody else didn't play, so they can't lose. so a really good weekend. And then all the rivals that we really don't like to see win, they also did not win this weekend too. So we've got the Spurs and United not winning. So that was nice to see. The teams that we play next, they were able to at least garner at least a point, if not. So I like that. Because I actually don't want teams coming in with a loss playing us, any of my teams, because that means they come in with extra motivation. If they're winning and then they come in and we smack them in the mouth, then that's what I want to see, right? So, yeah. So that's how I look at that. As far as the players, it's not just the players. Chelsea showed you last season that it's not just the players that makes the difference, right? When you've when you've tapped the limits of your manager, then you can't just keep putting more players in and expecting better production out of that. It'll be Gunner.
Once the players cross that white line, it is the players, and there can be some adjustments, yes. But the players, the manager has to pick the right combination, and we'll get into Friday night, and I thought he had the right players in the right position.
So based on what you just said, it's not just because they crossed the white line that it's all on the players.
No.
So it doesn't. So it's both, right?
Yeah, it's a combination.
So it doesn't matter if they cross the line, if they're sitting on the bench. It doesn't matter because if you put them in a bad situation, the player's going to look poor, and is that on the player? Everybody would say. Some people would say yes, it's on the player because they didn't get the job done.
Would Chelsea won with Champions League with Fat Frank?
So that's what I mentioned, Tony. That's why I said,
It's a tandem, Tony. It's a tandem.
Do you know what though? It is. We were talking about this before we came on, and it is great to see that after a game with individual mistakes against Palace, those players who were making those mistakes, your Parteys, Lokongas, etc., they stood up, they took stock, they came back into this game against Villa, and look how they performed. So I agree with Kevin. They got the capability. It's consistency. It's what we've been banging the drum about, since the beginning of the season. It's going to be consistency, which we're probably going to struggle to see with the young squad. But they can clearly do it. We've seen it against Spurs, tore them apart. We've seen it against Villa, obviously, dominated that game. They've absolutely got it in them to do it. And I'm just really pleased that they came off the back of that Palace game and actually addressed the issues, took stock and actually learnt from it and went straight back out there, dominated the game, got a good solid win. And hopefully that can drive us forwards. That gives them confidence.
Gary?
No, I just can't. It's not just the players. That's what I think.
No, but yeah, we're past.
No,
that
but they've
now.
got to take stock, though, haven't they? You can say it's not just the players, but ultimately, yes, of course, the manager has responsibility to shake things up, make changes, but ultimately, like Ray says, they once they cross that white line, that's down to the players. Yes, of course, the manager has to tweak things.
Gary, you're putting everything into the manager's basket.
No, I am not. No, I am
50-50,
not.
Gary.
No, I am
50-50.
not. Okay, it's 50-50, but it can't. It's not just the players. It
can
what
be
I'm trying to
both
say.
ways.
Yes.
But then Arteta deserves credit as well, right?
Exactly. Yeah, he's asking him to do something. What if they can't do it, but he keeps asking them to do it? Then that's on him. All right. But if he puts them in a situation of
because the players weren't playing,
if he asks
with the manager,
but if he asks them to do something that's within their tool chest, their tool belt, or whatever you want to call it, and and he's able to fit that into the game plan, then that's on him, right? But a lot of times we're seeing players being asked to do things they can't do, right? And it doesn't look good, so it can't be on the players. That's why. I always like when we talk about it's just the players. I'm like, no, it's both. It's both.
It is both. It is, and I think Matt was saying, you're not taking on board that it is a 50-50 thing. You want to blame the manager.
No, it's not what I said either. I never said that. You never heard me say it's just the manager. You never heard me say that.
You want to blame the manager more than the players.
75-25 in this case, Reese.
See, there you go.
I don't know. I didn't put any numbers on it. I just feel like I feel the scale will change depending on where you are. Like if you have a Messi out there and a Messi is out there and he doesn't look like comfortable out there playing his football, then is that I would say that's the manager making a mistake there because you got the best player in the world playing out there and he doesn't look comfortable with his football, right?
Gary,
but then you take a lower level striker and you put him out there or attacker and he's playing out of his mind, right? That's also the manager puts him in that situation. You put him on a different team, he doesn't look so good.
So Gary, one question: Monday night, Ødegaard's in midfield. There's a single pivot with Partey. Do you think that Ødegaard was put in the right position to succeed on Monday night?
In a good position.
Do you think the team was set up for him to excel?
You know what I did? You know what I Monday, he didn't look good to me in the Brighton game. So unless something changed over the time away, I wasn't really expecting him to look much better because I hadn't seen anything good in the Brighton game going in. So as a manager, I would have expected to see something different that led me to believe that he'll be okay in the Crystal Palace match, but I didn't come. He just hadn't looked right. We've seen him do really, be really good and successful for us, but he just didn't look right even, before the international break, and he still doesn't look right. And, he sat out, maybe he'll get it back. And you know what? And this is because, the team's young, right? None of these players that we have to depend on are going to be consistent. He was inconsistent coming in. They are young, which means they are inexperienced. We don't have legitimate starters that are in that 22 to 25 age group, right now, outside of like Tierney. Right, and now we've bought some new ones with White. Huh?
Well, what about Gabriel? You're forgetting Gabriel.
It is not because the team is young. Ødegaard was put in the wrong system in midfield.
Yeah.
He didn't have control of midfield. He was put in over his head.
So
then that's the manager's fault, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Gary. I think Ødegaard, he struggles in more physical games. I think if he can't be given the ball, he struggles to get the ball. If that makes sense, he's not a battling midfielder, so he's going to reply. He's going to really kind of expect Partey and the Lokongas to do that work for him, get the ball for him. He's not going to be doing that. So he kind of appears to go missing in those kind of games, and we get overrun. And that's where he struggles. That's where I think he struggles anyway. His physicality isn't there, and I don't think he's got that to his game yet.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the difference, like for me anyways, like along those same lines that Laca and Millsroof Road, they're used to getting beat up, right? They've probably seen enough English football to know that, you know what, you're not going to get one time and space and somebody's going to knock you down if you know, especially if you make them look bad, which is what happens to them a lot, right? Erdegaard he's not used to that at all, right?
Yeah,
this is something new for him. Yeah.
He just had the 6 months with us, so he may need to bulk up a little bit. Erdegaard might be a little bit lightweight. Emile Smith-Rowe would seem to be the same body type, but he's been loaned out at Huddersfield. He's more used to the rigors of what you're going to get in English football as well.
That's why you see Lacazette back there Friday.
Yeah. Listen, Lacazette, I'm gonna big up Lacazette tonight, big deal, a lot. Evening, guys. Really said, could the weekend get any better than this? I mean, how could it have gone better, Gary?
No, this is exactly what we want. We win. We watched everybody we don't like lose. You know, what more do you want? What more do we want, right? I mean, they needed to lose by what, four more goals for us to jump up the table, but you know, that's asking a little too much. We're not there yet.
Yeah, 9-0 for Liverpool. Liverpool got Old Trafford at 9. I thought they would win. We previewed the game. I thought that Liverpool would win. We wanted Ole to win on Wednesday, but I don't think that's going to save him. That Champions League win from bottom to top. Tony, how much better could the weekend go? Anything could have happened. The weekend would have got better, Tony.
Not too much.
Chelsea losing, but that's a big ask against Norwich. You know, it feels weird this without a weekend game. We'll have a weekend game next week. I guess, Sparga, if I tipped up Watford a week late, I wanted them to beat Liverpool. They went and beat a Everton side. Tony, Everton, they were leading 2-1. And before we get into the Arsenal game, just a quick word about Everton. Leading 2-1, I'm thinking Rafa Benitez got this team turned around. Without their strikers, they're doing quite well. And then Watford, what happened to Watford? They're just a team now that has just found some confidence. And you can see the way players are holding on to the ball, turning inside, putting Everton players on their backside. You know, just snowballed in Everton, and Watford have something about them.
Yeah, I didn't watch the game, but I know Watford scored 4 of their goals in the last 10 minutes. So either Everton took their gas off the pedal, wore out, whatever happened.
Did they gas off the pedal?
Well, I think we have to excuse Tony a little bit. He's still fighting a nasty infection in his ears and throat, so might be affecting him a little bit more. But big up Tony for being here with us.
Yeah.
Tony's Iron Man.
We'll cut you a break. Yeah. We'll cut him a break, right, Gary?
Yeah.
Speedy recovery, Tony.
Yeah. No, I was also gonna say along those lines you're talking about Ole it's the body of work for him. That is the reason why he'll be let go. It's not the last game, the previous game.
Mm-hmm. My missus got that fired.
Oh dear.
Nobody's gonna say it online. Nobody's gonna say it live. No.
I was going to say it's a tongue twister, but that's probably
pretty funny from Mr. Bungle. Gunnar Glenn, happy for him to be dropped. He is ultra conservative. Ozil Odegaard has dropped off for some reason. Maybe a reason they aren't telling us.
I think he's just struggling with physicality, and like I say, he's been put into games where he's not quite that type of player. I just don't think he was right for those games.
I mean, like I said, I think that Brighton game, it would have been really smart of Arteta to realize this just wasn't going to work for him early in that first half, and maybe bring somebody in after about 30 minutes of seeing what it was that was going on there, not because it just wasn't his game, and we needed a little bit more control right there in that midfield, and people were having to cover for him, and you don't want that because then you open yourself up, right? So that would and he's not. I don't think he's at that point where he realizes that what, this isn't working for one player or whatever, and he can come out, and it's not that he won't start the next match. It's just that it's not his match today, right? Because we've seen it. We've seen Pep do it. So it's not working for him. He'll pull somebody out early.
Well,
So it's a thing that.
I wish I could ban your banner, Ray.
You want to ban my banner?
Yep.
Well, why would you want to do that to me? And listen, you can ban me for a couple of weeks because I'm gonna go away on holiday.
I'm not banning you. That's you going on vacation, asshole.
I see my hairs here at Gundam News, and before we move off of the United stuff, I wanted to bring him in, but I don't know if he's blank or what. His picture hasn't come through.
No, it's not. I'm here, guys. What up?
Hi, mate. How you doing?
You got a black box up there,
No, why there's a black box is ask the guys here in South Africa who supply our electricity why they make so much billions of rands and why we still have no electricity, why we still get power outages. It's crazy.
So, Mahir, you have a power outage. That's why you are literally in the dark.
I'm literally in the dark.
Ole's Gunnar Solskjaer's in the dark. There you go.
There he is.
We were going to move on to Arsenal, but I want to especially wait for you for what you got to say about United and Tottenham.
There it is. That sums it up.
Here's this
where's the big? They normally have such big mouths and such small brains. Like, what did they think about what happened tonight? Ole's at the wheel. Tell me, how does it feel?
Great this side of the fence, not sure on theirs.
I was saying earlier, man, here the wheels have come off and the road has come to an end. So you can't see Ole surviving this, right? Unfortunately.
No, I don't see any. But look, our board and their boards are the same type of people. They would, despite failure, still give the process time and still. You see, that's why the thing is, my guys, and all our family over at our subscribe. Are you in a meeting with Everett Ross? These guys.
I don't know whoever Ross is.
But like the thing is, this is our problems at both our club and both at United as well. Despite failure, there would still be some sort of faith and time being given onto the contracts, as per se, to say, you know what, it was just one loss. It wasn't that bad. And then when they win one, the next game, it's, oh my goodness, we've won. We can go up the table. We're going to make top 4, like us, for example. That's what a lot of fans do. That's like a good performance.
We're going to get to that in this podcast. We're going to think that way.
It's a bit crazy, though.
Maybe.
Like,
Ray's to have his head in the clouds ain't normal.
All right, so that's United. Anything else in United? Tottenham, the weekend, their rivals.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even get to talk about. I didn't get to talk about King Harry. King Harry's defense was so good, wasn't it?
King Harry Maguire.
Yeah. Oh, the other King.
Harry Kane. Why was Harry Kane marking Antonio, Gary?
Why was Bellerin marking like the 6'8" defensive center backs that we've played against in the past?
We've had Odegaard marking 6'4" defenders. I mean, it's just like, let's take our smallest guy on the biggest bloke possible.
You know what? Yeah. You know what? He's usually okay in the air, but that ball was on the ground, so I guess it was too far away from his head or whatever. But all he had to do is stick a foot out. It wasn't even like he had to do anything. If he sticks a foot out, he clears it, and he looks like a star basically at that point. I mean, he basically was too engaged with Antonio to realize where the ball was. I think, right? Because that's such an easy thing to do, to stick Antonio just stuck his foot out and it just it bounced off perfectly for him. But yeah, no, I mean that was good to see. The only, as I've said before, we still got to play some of these teams again. All right, so just remember that.
Easy, Gary, no problem.
Okay, no, I'm not saying that. No, you can't say that, Ray. Come on.
Hey,
do you know what though? I'm going to be really interested.
One game at a time, right?
I'm going to be really interested to watch and see whether. I mean, United. Just looking at this, they've lost 3 in their last 5.
Yep.
This one quite comprehensively. I'm going to be really interested to see how the press reacts. Are they going to give Ollie the same treatment that Arteta has had and the same crap that we've had from the press across various managers, or are they just going to sweep under the carpet, not really say much, and just deal with it game by game? They lost 5-0. Great. Okay, move on. Yeah.
As my hero said, this has happened so many times, but I do believe Ole's run out of lives. He's like 2 cats merged into one. He's had 20 lives at this point in time. Tony, the form table for us has to be looking pretty decent, right?
I haven't looked at it lately. I'll look it up here in a minute.
Gary,
you haven't lost in 5, so it's as far as if you're looking at the Premier League. The Premier League site.
We're up there.
It's green and gray.
Green and gray. 3 wins, 3 draws.
Yeah, so
no reds in there. No reds in there. So Gary, I'm coming to you. Okay, listen, we've had a decent run, 5 or 6 games. We did what we needed to do. Have we righted the ship a little bit? We're a little bit behind from my calculations, 21% towards the target of 66 points.
We've righted the ship a little bit, but we still I think we still got some way to go.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about trying to, what are we, 9th? Are we 9th now? What are we?
10th at the moment. Yeah.
10th, right? Yeah. We still got 4 to 6 more spots to jump. So, and we still have, we still got to play Liverpool twice, right?
We've got a tough November. We've got Liverpool and United in November.
Yeah. So, and you know what?
Yeah,
Leicester City isn't looking like an easy match for us, right? I mean, they're looking like they can do what they will take advantage of whatever you give them, right? So, there's a good. I mean, I think for us, we got tough games ahead of us. Unless once we see consistency, then we can basically say, that one should be a game for us, right?
I think we're all easily winnable except for Liverpool.
No, really. Nothing's easily winnable for me, anyways, in my eyes, until we do it more than once, right? We played 30 minutes against Spurs, and then that kind of form disappeared, right? And we just saw 90 minutes, so we got to do this again. We want to get something out of the Leeds match. We want to win that one, right? We want to stay in these cup.
But these are the ups and downs of the Premier League, Gary.
Yeah. No, that's what I know. So that's why we were happy. Once again, we'll take just like we were against Crystal Palace. We'll take the point, but we still got ways to go, right? We still got a ways to go. We'll take the 90 minutes this time around. I'll take the 3 points as well. And now we're gonna have to do it again, all right? We're gonna have to do it again.
Taib said a friend new life would be hard as a postman on the first day. They gave him the sack, so maybe Ole is going to be the postman. Reddy said, "Don't laugh too much, guys. We'll lose United. You got to enjoy the moments, Reddy. Got to enjoy the moments. We'll take the banter against us, but we gotta dish it out as well, especially with that Conte there. Yeah, I mean this is the problem. Ole's done immensely bad today, and the team have, of course, but we're probably going to be paying by having a more competent manager at Old Trafford. Arteta should have been sacked by now. Let's be honest. LOL. This time last year, he survived. He just about survived. Why is he?
And that's the thing that scares me, is because we can play really well right now, and then when it's too late, we're not going to make a management change. We're not going to be able to bring in the players. And we start losing those matches, in January and February and stuff like that. And then we just drop and we're like, damn, I wish we would have made the change sooner, but it's too late now. All right.
How many leagues back do you want to go on the form table, Ray? 5, 6?
They usually do 6, Tony. 6 looks about right to me.
Six just gives him the 4 wins and 2 draws. So
we went from 4th to 4th on 5 and 6 weeks. So we're still 4th.
Went from what?
Went from 4th place to 4th place. Add an extra week.
Okay, that'll be good. We'll take that.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's top 4, right?
Yep.
That's not how it works, but yeah, that's not how it works, right? It's not that we had the best. We had the best late December and January, right? It doesn't work that way.
I got a tie question coming up. I got to take that one tie in a minute.
Man United's 13, if you want to know, right?
Sure. Why isn't Keddy still at Arsenal? Because he wanted to be paid quite handsomely. This is the mind of a modern day manager. Having Kane defend is broadening his all-round game. I can't believe that Santos is very happy with that situation, although it did happen, right? Get the Cronkies and his clowns out first, then Arteta might get sacked.
That's one of those things where your captain, goes out there and does it for you, no matter where you put him on the pitch, right? And he didn't do it today. They needed him to make that play. I always say you got to make that play, right? He's got to make that play, and he didn't make it today, and his team paid for it.
He's having quite a season, Gary, assisting Saka for a goal, and now not marking Antonio.
Well, he was marking him. He just didn't know where the ball was. So
not effectively.
He
was standing beside him.
He was just standing beside him for sure.
Who gets fired first, Nuno or Ole?
Ole's gone.
Yeah, Nuno's. I don't think you can just fire him based on this. I mean, I think he's in a bad situation. He's got, I'm surprised Son is still there. I really thought he was going to go. Kane should have. That's another. Their 2 best players should be gone if you were going to bring in Santos. So I think they need to do a full rebuild. If I was them, I would be like, yeah, we're going to do a full rebuild. We'll take the 160, 180 million that we're going to get from our 2 top players and do something with it and let him build. They have more money than what he had at Wolves, right? So if that's the case, then he should be able to get better quality players than he had at Wolves. And if he can do a similar thing that he did there, then they'll be better, all the better for it. Yeah. But it doesn't sound like that's in their plan.
You would think that he had better quality at Tottenham. He just needed to mold them into a team, which he hasn't done yet. Really said he'll take a point to Leicester. Gunnar Glenn was asking, why can't we beat Leicester? We did beat them last season away from home. I'm not scared of them or Everton. I think we can take them. It's going to be a difficult game, but we're all on the same points here. We're on the same points as Leicester, Everton, and Man United. So, Arsenal have a very bad start, has been recovered slightly. I think we're about 4 points off where we need to be at this point in time.
I agree with that, though, Ray. I don't see why we should be fearing teams like Everton.
Or Leicester.
I think we play good football against Leicester. We can get good results. We've typically had good results against Leicester. I think the last game we played some fantastic football. I don't see why we can't go out and beat them.
Yeah, we beat them 3-1. Yeah. We beat them 3-1 with David Luiz inspiring us last spring.
I also think, some context. Yes, okay, we're not going and smashing Crystal Palace 4-1 away from home, and Brighton, yes, okay, wasn't the great. But you know what? We're picking points up on the road. We're not losing games. We're picking up points, and we're steadily building a bit of consistency, and that's what we want. Yes, in game, there have been moments where we've not been fantastic, but you know what? We're getting points on the board, and we're not losing games, and that's what counts in the end. So, do you know what? I think we are steadily righting the ship. Something's going on that's obviously starting to work. It's not perfect. Things clearly aren't perfect. You can see that things aren't great at points in games, but you know what? This Villa game clearly showed that they can turn it around and recognise mistakes and start to kind of formulate things in their own mind. And put things right in the next game. So I'm quite hopeful. Yeah.
So I was just laughing because I just got a a thing from WhatsApp in a WhatsApp group I'm in. It's Pogba's heat map. Basically, it's a red line from the center circle to the sideline. That's all it is.
Yeah, he wasn't on the field. He wasn't on the field for a long time. It's dreadful 2-footed tackle on the player. Ty, have I changed my opinion on Arteta, or has this unbeaten run given him some false hope of a title challenge? The lads will tell you I've changed my opinion slightly on Arteta. I'm not happy that we are. I would say we're 4 points off where we need to be right now. I wanted about 21 points after 10 games. We've got 14 points after 9. That would make me only 17 from 10 games. So, yeah, I think there's some work that needs to be done yet. And definitely,
if we won Brentford, we'd be sitting there in 5th place right now.
Yeah. And it's going to be so competitive, Mahir, that we may be in this contest from 4th place to 10th for quite a bit now.
Absolutely. The funny thing is there is there's a little bit of chance involved or luck involved, because if Man United do seem to drop and bottle a lot of the things that they bottle, and Tottenham as well, there might be an outside hope of us trying to push into that top 4 and sneak our way in there. And that to me would be an absolute shock with the squad that we have.
Definitely.
Even though we do have a lot of quality.
I think top 6 is what we need to fight for. Top 4.
Then why do you keep bringing up your table of 66 points?
Because you want to have targets, and you want to be able to aim towards those targets, Tony. You've got to have
say you can't beat them.
What was our target last year, Ray?
66 points.
No, what was the team's target? What did they tell you?
Well, you tell me what the team's target was.
Top 4. What should it be this year without any European?
Oh yeah,
football?
yeah. Top 4 or
champions. We're out of Europe.
I mean, that's what our
told William challenge.
What our talking about William on.
Yeah. He didn't sell William on being top 4.
Tried to convince.
He said he was going to win trophies in 3 years.
No, he didn't.
He said he's gonna. He said he did say he's gonna
be in the Champions
League. He said he'd break
final.
records, and he's broke all the wrong records so far.
I thought he said he's going to win trophies. Maybe.
No,
he did.
Said that to William. Have we been entertained enough? And Tony, Steve wants to know, where do you think honestly we'll finish in the league, Tony?
I have no fucking clue, Steve.
That's what you're up here.
Answer the damn questions.
Pick a number. Pick a number.
Come on, Tony. Tell me.
Anywhere between 4 and 10.
Anywhere between 1 and 20.
It should be 4th between 4th and 6th. What it should be. Will it be? Who the fuck knows? But it should be 4th to 6th.
But knowing us, it's probably between, I would say, 5 and 8. Maybe, if we can push some sort of consistency.
I actually agree with you, Mahir. 5 and 8. I mean, we really do well. It's 5th place, if we really just
come on, be optimistic like Tony and go 4th.
We can just scrape into Europa. I think it'll be okay.
Being optimistic.
Brimstone Ray, where's Rainbow Ray at?
I'm here. Mahir, are you cheering for South Africa in the ongoing Cricket World Cup?
Oh, he crashed, I think.
Brentford been unlucky with their recent results. They still create chances even during a loss. I was hoping they would take something off.
Here struck a pose and left.
See, for me, the issue for Brentford is whether they can hold up for the whole 38 matches, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're showing it. They're still able to do that now, but that Christmas time comes, they could, we'll see.
2 thumbs up. He's definitely cheering for him.
Are you?
Definitely.
Okay. All right. Listen, let's get into this game on Friday. It's a distant memory now. Gary, you want to start us off? I've titled this Laca wins mind games with Emmy. And this goes back to...
wait. Ray.
Oh, you can't wait to bring up
guys,
Emmy, can you? Ray. Gotta bring him up right after that.
Sorry, guys. Just one thing I just wanted to mention to you. Us as podcasters, we've got to really respect our audience and our Arsenal fan circle family, and respect the banter and respect whatever everybody's opinions in their right minds. because I had a terrible incident with this at Much Arsenal, Munch Arsenal. So I said one question. I said, do you think back-to-back wins is papering over the cracks, or would you prefer to lose back-to-back games to get Arteta sacked? And this guy just went off on me. Like, the clip is there on my Twitter at 100 News, and this guy just went off on me. He's like, fuck's sakes, bro. You ever heard of technology? And I was like, what? My bro. And I said sarcastically to him also, he's got a stadium, a green screen with this outside of the stadium. I said, why are you sitting outside the stadium alone? LMAO. And this guy was so touched. He was like, ever heard of technology, bro? Fuck's sakes, man. Fuck. And then when I commented that, and then I was like, you don't have to be rude. You have to respect everybody's opinion. And I think you're behaving like a prick. So I'm not behaving like a prick. I'm not gonna sit here and I know I'm not apologizing. But then he said it's because my emotions. He said his emotions are high during the game. I was like, that's for other fellow podcasters. Just take this as an example of what not to do to your crowd or the people that you attract. Because me as an Arsenal supporter and as a fellow podcaster on YouTube, I like supporting other people, other Arsenal channels. So I just thought I'd tune in, and after he said that, I was like, I'm unsubscribing, bro. Good luck with you and your 49 subscribers. And good luck with that attitude and the excuse of having your emotions high for the game. It's just a game. You don't be rude to the people that come and want to support you.
Arsenal,
You understand?
Arsenal were winning 1-0. Mayer, Arsenal were winning 1-0 at the time. And while 1-0 to Arsenal can still be a stressful situation for
he should be sharing the love at that point.
Us Arsenal fans.
I was like, bro, it's just a game. Like, I'm coming here to watch you because I'm not specifically staying away from other channels, but I'm here to support you. I want to see what your content is about. Now you rude to me immediately. I'm like, nah, fuck this. I'm off.
So Mayer,
good luck with you and your subscribers, bro.
Mayer.
But it's what not to
tell
do.
us what you really think.
Listen, Mayer, you were being sarcastic, and he didn't understand your sarcasm. Like, of course, we know about green screen. We know Gary's not sitting outside of a.
I am.
Well, to be fair,
it's 1951. Wow. You guys are talking to me in the future. All right, it's 1951 at Highbury. It's night game. It's cold. Man, I think that's rain.
To be fair, if that was real, Gary, you've been outside that stadium for about 3 weeks. Solid. You haven't left.
You know what? Sometimes I have nowhere else to be. I have nowhere else to go. Come on.
Is that late and raining, Ray?
But you know what? Along those lines of like the people in your chats, that guy in the chat, Tony Turner. I don't know. Does he know anything about football? Because he's always in talking nonsense. Anybody know him?
Who's the head of
But like guys, I apologize about that rant. I just wanted to inform other podcasters of what not to do.
Upset challenge table.
Tony, we'll get to that later. I told you. Relax.
Where's your coconut water?
I don't have any coconut water today. It's Sunday.
Where's your coconut water? Arsenal Twitter is a minefield. Watch where you walk.
Amen to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, Mayer.
I feel like we should be doing like a Ricky Lake episode where we get them both together and sit them down on a podcast and make things right. The loving episode.
Listen,
you guys were in love before. What happened? Where'd the love go?
Yeah.
You know?
Where'd the love go?
One thing, Gary, we have determined that we can keep doing the weather reports because it worked on Friday night. Okay.
You know what? I didn't like it the first time. I don't like it the second. I don't like it the third time. No.
All right.
That's just me. That's just me.
You're going to be the host of the shows while I'm away, so you can.
The weather. You know what? We'll have no weather for the next 3 shows or whatever it is. Sorry, the weatherman's out. He went to Florida. It's going to be sunny and 80 degrees there. clear
I'll
skies.
give you.
All
I'll
right.
give you the weather report, Gary. It'll be up to you if you choose to use it or not.
Don't waste your trip. Don't waste your trip. Looking at the weather.
Don't waste that trip. Okay, look, Tony. Am I not allowed to mention Emmy as we review the game on Friday? I'm
Oh,
not
come
allowed
on! You have
talk
to
about it?
mention Emmy. If you don't
Tony?
mention Emmy, then what's the point of enjoying
Why
football?
would they boo you?
Yeah.
He'll be mentioning
Yeah,
us. So.
He sure was picking the ball out of the back of a net a lot.
What?
So he's picking the ball out of the back of a net a lot.
He did pick the ball out of the back of that a lot. I think he was laying down crying, and his teammates went and got the ball.
He's got some. There's something not quite right in
He
his
was
head.
laying down crying. But Gary,
No, I think it was like a. I would think it was like a. I wish I was at Arsenal still. Like, why didn't they give me that chance to prove myself to be that
He could have
number one?
stayed and
Yet
play. He could have stayed.
he chose the one to
leave. He
could be our number one now. He could have been our number one now if he stayed.
He wanted to be
Yeah, but
above
like
Ramsdale.
circumstances
You think he'd be
were
above
to
Ramsdale
happen.
right now?
Hold on, Tony.
Exactly. Ramsdale was supposed to be our number one.
All right, Tony.
I'm saying, you think he'd be ahead of Ramsdale? Ramsdale's a better keeper.
No. Ramsdale would not have been bought if we had Emmy still.
We want to cap both of
Mm.
them, Ray. Both of them wanted guarantee starting. One of them had to go.
The difference is though, Tony, Ramsdale came in as number 2 and fought straight away to be number 1, and that's a difference in attitude. Emmy could have done that. Emmy could have done that.
I don't believe that because you don't spend $24 million on a goalkeeper.
I agree with Gary. We spent too much for him.
If you spend that much on a goalkeeper, it's because you want him to be your future starter. I believe that.
Gary.
But there were no guarantees.
Wow.
He came in, big club, established keeper, good goalkeeper. Let's not mess about. Leno's a good goalkeeper, very good goalkeeper. He came in as a number 2 and is very long term number 1. Yeah, I agree. I think that was the aim. But he is very, very, very quickly. His attitude has got him there.
Yeah.
What did Emmy do? What did Emmy do? What did Emmy do when he played in those 10 matches that he played for Arsenal? That wasn't as comparable to what you're seeing from Ramsdale in terms of what the team needed and what he provided.
Yeah, I can't argue really.
Question.
I don't think he gave you the energy. I don't think he gave the communication that Ramsdale does. Or for that matter.
I think what Gary's saying is Emmy Martinez gave us everything
performance-wise
that the team needed. Performance-wise, he made the team work. And Ramsdale is doing a similar job, right, Gary?
Yeah, I think Arsenal. I think, like you said, it was 2 parts, right? The team didn't at least allow it to say, you know what, you can fight for it, as opposed to Leno is. It seemed like it was like Leno is our number 1. Sorry, the last 10 matches that you played, the FA Cup that you won, didn't mean as much as you think it did in terms of your future.
Yeah, but if he asked for a guarantee to be number 1, he was never going to get that.
Yeah. But for me, Arsenal finally had what they wanted in a goalkeeper, and they weren't going to get it from Leno, no matter how much they tried. He's not that type of goalkeeper. He watched Emmy go through those 10 matches, right? He watched what he did, and he came in the new season, and we still saw the same Leno. He didn't we always talk about, you know what? You got to improve. Maybe he doesn't watch tape. Maybe he doesn't watch the videos. Maybe he didn't see any of those 10 matches from last season.
Yeah, Leno didn't have the competition, right, Gary?
But he saw Emmy Martinez put out 10 games of where you went, this is a different type of defense we're playing with this goalkeeper in here, right? Hands of steel, clear in the air, commanding his box,
playing out,
communicating with his defensive, with the back line, all the things that were like great, just firing those guys up, pumping those guys up, right? We see the same thing with Ramsdale, right?
Yep.
And we should have did it with Ryan, but we didn't offer him anything either.
No, Ryan actually showed the same thing. So you brought in 3 goalkeepers that they've had to bring in either from the bench or into the team have shown what we're missing.
And I think it is attitude, Gary, because quite rightly, I think someone's just put, Obviously, Presto plays made some good points, 2 good points, and Riddy
Yeah,
as
we'll
well.
get to
Arrogance
Presto.
doesn't get you far. Emmy needs a reality check. Yeah, since he's gone, I think he's shown the attitude that we didn't want. And obviously, if he's doing that now, I'm sure some of that was like that while he was at the club. He hasn't. He put in the performances on the pitch, but again, the stuff off the pitch and how he conducts himself off the pitch, I don't think was probably all that great. I don't think he's in the same mindset as Ramsdale in terms of commitment and wanting to really push himself. I think it's either.
Leno say something also about wanting to leave?
Yeah,
Yes.
Leno has mooted that he wants to look around and he's open to a move, and that's probably what is.
Well, he said if he doesn't really get first team football again by Christmas and he's not number one, then he's going to have to consider his options. Were his words, I think.
Consider your options. Your attitude.
Fight for your place. That's the difference. Ramsdale
Yeah,
comes
exactly.
in
That's
straight
the
away
difference.
fighting for it.
Yeah.
I
mean, my thing is, it's not like he doesn't go away on international duty and sit behind Neuer, right? And for me, if you're looking for a mentor, you're looking for somebody to show you kind of how to play this position, I believe you got it right there. You see it every time he goes away and plays for his national team. He's got somebody to look at and go, you know what? And he's not. I don't think he's utilizing that resource, that contact, because when he comes back, it's no different, right? He should, like you said, his mindset should be, I want to be the number one goalkeeper. That's it.
I think it's lazy. It's lazy professionalism. I mean, what kind of professional athlete doesn't expect healthy competition at a big club and to sit back and be number one? That's just not going to happen. I think it's just really lazy, and I think it is arrogant.
Let's get through some of the Presto play. New around here, if you would like to subscribe, we would love to have you as part of the family. Emmy didn't want to fight for his place and wanted it on a plate. Ramsdale has probably proven his worth, and the 25 million will soon come into a 35, maybe even a little bit more than that.
So see, that for me, that the 24 million is the commitment that the team showed, whereas the team wasn't going to commit that Emmy could fight for the number one, and then he chose to leave. He chose to leave, right? But they didn't. I don't think the team gave him that. Said you have an opportunity to start. That's what I think. I don't know if they said it or not. Yeah. I don't believe they said, you know what? If you stay, you can fight for that position. I don't believe they said that.
And maybe he didn't
they
believe.
May have, but I don't believe
maybe he didn't believe that he was wanted or that his talent would show through above and over Bernd Leno.
He basically said he wanted a starting job. They weren't going to hand it to him on the platter.
And this is something that Mikel Arteta needs to do a little bit more of. And I think he's learned a little bit with Odegaard from Monday to Friday that, he didn't find the place for Odegaard. Now he's the first player to come on the field, which shows he likes Odegaard a little bit. But he made the right decision in terms of a double pivot on Friday. Plus the play, it also hurt Emmy.
Keep on hitting that drum, right?
I wanna see you read this comment. I just want to see something.
It also hurt Emmy that Arteta couldn't give him number one, that he started talking cack about Arsenal after his move.
Like Matt said, I mean, he showed his true colors, I guess, and that's what we don't want. But that's he may have crossed the line a little bit, but we want those guys getting up to that line and being that fiery, right? We definitely want that because we're not getting it, and we need it. We need it. Yeah. This team needs somebody to light the fire, right? So Lacazette did it in the last match. We saw Ramsdale today when the goal went in, right?
Ramsdale?
Yeah, when the goal went in, Ramsdale was pissed, right? He's like, I got 5 defenders, and none of you are coming to the ball and just letting Ramsey take that shot. That's what I believe he was screaming at them for. He's like, I can't make that stop if you don't even defend in front of me. Those types of things, and that's what we want because these guys need to be cognizant that what, this game is 90 minutes and you can't take a break because a team will take advantage of you each time.
Leno probably doesn't want to fight for his place too. There's 2 German keepers ahead of Leno. Anyway, so why not stay and fight here at Arsenal? Tony, what were you saying?
As I asked, but it's always obsessed with Martinez here.
Nobody's upset with him. Come on,
we're
stop
talking
that.
about Aston Villa. If you're reviewing Aston Villa, we're gonna have to do it twice
even before you get into the game.
Get over it, Tony. Get over it. We're going to have to talk about Martinez in this game. It's just.
We just played him. Come on.
Who would you
We
rather
just played
have?
him, so we can't talk about
Martinez
the
or
goalkeeper.
Ramsdale? Which
He's
two
off
would you
limits,
rather have?
Gary. You can't talk about him. He's off limits.
Ramsdale or
never bring
Martinez?
Tony
Tony.
brings him up more than we
Which
do.
two would you? Which one do you want? Martinez or Ramsdale, Gary and Ray?
Ramsdale.
Better
Ramsdale.
100% Ramsdale, yeah.
I don't want to talk about goalkeepers anymore. Ramsdale's the man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Yep.
No,
Not
shut
so
up
wrong.
about it and get into
Close.
the
Not
game.
so wrong.
I like that.
Slow chapter.
Close your clam, Tony. Close your clam. Then I'm gonna watch the Classico today. No, not
I
in.
wanted to, and I didn't get a chance to. How did they? Did
Somebody
anybody
was-
know how it went?
Don't even know.
I think somebody said it was 1-0 to Real Madrid early on, but then again, electricity switched off, and guys, that's why I'm in the dark. And they are
You know what happened? They
sort
got
of-
all those billions of Ren that you were talking about, or whatever it was. Whatever
Right.
that, you know what? They got to keep it cooled, or else it starts to sweat and get moldy. So they had to, redirect all the electricity to their cooling facilities for all the money they got. And
Yeah.
you know what? The little people lose.
And the little people suffer because, I don't like to get myself involved in politics or anything like Gary, Matt, and Tony. I don't
Yeah,
like that.
Madrid
2-1.
2-1.
Ah,
Madrid
2-1
2-1.
to Madrid or 2
Can you
and
believe
one Madrid.
we haven't really talked about the game? It's been
I know
That's
because you're
good.
talking about
Playing.
fucking
You know,
Guys,
it's
come on,
it was
guys.
so long
Because
ago.
you go-
It was so long ago.
come on, guys.
I mean, I've forgotten about
Talk
it.
about the
Wasn't it like last
goalkeeper and the
week?
fucking weather. Let's talk about the football.
I think you stuck us on the goalkeeper for the last 20 minutes, Tony.
Look into your Menudo notebook and let's get this thing started.
He's got to play dirty when these get tough. That's like, hit me below the belt. Huh? Press the
You're
play.
the one that started off with Martinez. I didn't start off with it.
No, he didn't.
Yes, you did.
He mentioned his name once, and then you went off, and then we had to stay there.
I think Laca lives rent-free in Emmy's head, but I think Emmy lives rent-free in Tony's head.
I don't give two
100%.
shits about him.
Well, I
Just like
think
any
it was a
former
really
player.
good. I think it was really good.
Val
Any
Val
former
doth
player,
protest
Ray,
too
I
much,
give two
Tony.
shits about. They're gone. They're gone. I care about them.
Oh,
when they're
guys,
with
I'm
us.
on.
Val
I'm on
does protest
4%.
too much.
You're on
4%?
4%.
Oh, no.
You're going to be losing my hair
Yeah.
soon. My hair.
Apology.
You see the game on Friday?
Oh,
I was going to ask him a
Can we do a
question.
GoFundMe for like a battery pack or something like that?
I know. I think if it was
yeah, but you need
between
electricity to charge the thing.
pressed up like
Very true,
that,
yeah,
I
very
think
true.
if it was-
Solar powered. So he's in South Africa. Solar.
Solar. You know what? You know what's funny? I have a pack. It's solar powered. So
I think I got the same one.
it's definitely possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
That's why it's South Africa.
let's get into this game. And disclaimer: we're going to have to talk about Emmy. Sorry.
We've already talked about him. We don't need
No.
to talk about him anymore.
Don't you think he's part of the goals that we scored against him? I've got things to say, Tony. And you just
He
gotta
picked the ball
spot
out
your-
of the back of a net. Who cares?
Save your throat, Tony. Save your throat. Doesn't it feel sore?
I don't care.
Don't you want to take a break?
I'm gonna speak my mind, Ray.
I think if it was between Ramsdale versus Martinez, Ramsdale will still get it. Must not forget that Ramsdale is not just a player, but also a supporter. And, that's definitely a big part of the play. Speaking of Partey, Matt, finally got that goal.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm gutted because I was just saying to the guys before we came on that I was actually at a wedding on Friday and I was unable, sadly, to watch the game at the time. I could just feel my phone buzzing in my pocket, and obviously every time I was just praying it was for a good reason rather than a bad one. But yeah, very, very happy to see the party started. He's actually put the ball in the back of the net.
Yes.
I was hoping it was going to be a 30-yard screamer.
He's
yeah.
shot enough of those during the game.
You know,
That was a shoulder.
but you know what? If it's shoulder, head,
Shoulder
whatever,
lead,
he's on the score sheet.
shoulder
Happy days. Happy days. And I heard he hit the woodwork, right?
Hit the upright as well, just before
Ooh.
that. Yeah.
Good shot though. Was it a good distance?
It was a ball headed in the box, and he was able to hook it from the outside of his right foot while he was falling down, trying to
Would
direct
have loved a Partey brace.
Neither
Another
one of
four
them.
Oh,
shots were
that
from
would have
like
been
40
awesome.
yards out.
Neither one of them would have been 25 yards, right, Tony?
The other ones were like 40 yards.
We all
It's
had
getting
this
closer.
vision in our head that Partey was going to hit that perfect shot, 25 yards. We never saw
Yeah.
it during Wenger's days.
The one where he hit the crossbar, though, that was the one, right? I mean, that would have been nice.
Sambi and Tavad were
Oh,
shooting
that
those
would have been
35
beautiful.
yarders too. Shooting way too many of those 35 yarders.
And he's got Sambi doing it too. I mean,
And Tavad.
Yeah,
like
good
father,
stuff.
like son. Not like father, like son, but yeah.
I mean, if they can put it between the, in that box, then I'll take it. But they're not doing that consistently enough for me to say keep doing that when we've shown that we can break teams down.
I blame the fans because they're always rooting for Zaka to shoot it from 40 yards out.
Do you know what though? For me, I was watching watching the highlights. Great to see a good corner come in and a decent delivery, because how many times am I pulling my hair out every time we get a corner that it just is useless. So great delivery, and actually really good to see Partey actually getting in the mix of things and getting up there and actually getting in the mix.
Yeah.
Because he should be there. He's quite a tall lad. I don't see why we don't use him a bit more for that. All you got to do is get something on the end of it, and the one time he goes up and does that, he scores.
Yeah,
I mean, if you looked at him on
coach is
international
finally
break,
doing
he scored a goal because he was up in the final third, actually putting some pressure on the team, steals the ball, intercepts the ball, and then takes a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, we've never seen that. And to Riddy's question, it's 1951, so I'm not sure which match. So a little bit earlier than.
I think we did win the league in 51. I think, or an FA Cup.
Gary, we've had enough night games. Time to change the background.
I need to find. I like this background. I need to find one similar to it, but I haven't found it yet.
Yeah,
I have some other ones I could switch to, but they don't look so good.
Tony, you're gonna have to bite your lip here, because this is something I have to talk to Gary about, because he'll remember Aston Villa away. Lacazette and Emi Martinez involved in he just disappeared on me. Lacazette and Martinez, nice one, involved in a penalty schmozzle. That was some controversy. We lost 1-0. I think Emi and Laca have been having this running issue through their games, and I think Emi completely got distracted by Lacazette for that goal. Partey's header should have been saved by all rights. But because
that's why I don't understand why Lacazette didn't take the penalty.
You know what? I think it's because of the head games that Emi was even though I think it was a poor kick.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it's just going to be predictable though for Fairme though, because he knows where he's going to stick it. I mean, he's had enough time with him to know where he's probably going to put it. But at least Aubameyang was up quick, pounced, had the forethought to actually get there quick and pounce and stick it back in. So I like to see that.
Yeah.
He didn't just turn his back and walk off and go, oh.
Well, many said it shouldn't even have been allowed, right? Because the half was over.
How crazy was that? I must say, guys.
I mean,
that is one of the craziest things I've seen.
After the 2 minutes.
2 minutes after the incident.
Yeah.
Oh, did we have possession? Tell me something. Was it just me, or did we have actual possession? Because we played it like right to Ramsdale, and like they were playing it between the defense and Ramsdale, and then he calls. I'm like, no ways you're going to give the penalty after 2-3 minutes. You're going to give the penalty
This is penance, right? We've had VAR go against us so many times. And we get a penalty, it goes for us. I could give a crap if it's 5 minutes after, 2 minutes after. It's gone our way.
Matt,
It's gone our way.
I'm just saying.
It's gone our way.
It's for us. It's for us. I'm very, very happy about that. I'm just saying it's something I've never experienced. So I was talking to a Chelsea supporter or something. He said 2-3 years ago, there was an incident that actually cost like 5 minutes. Like a whole 5 minutes, they only blowed the whistle. I was like, no, so you're telling me this has happened before?
Yeah,
but anyway,
the second minute when we got it.
It was a penalty, but 2-3 minutes after the incident. Like the ball's gone right to Ramsdale.
Hey,
And they're
we're on
playing with it
Arteta
yesterday.
time now. You've had Fergie
Yeah,
time. It's now
Arteta time.
Arteta time.
No more Fergie time, Arteta time. The reverse the time to keep penalties.
I just don't know why the official don't go straight to the little monitor and look at it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
to take 4 or 5
that is
minutes.
the weird thing about it, though. But hey, a penalty is a penalty.
And it was a penalty, to be fair.
Yeah, it was a
Actually,
penalty.
So the whole penalty situation, McGinn had been fouling left, right, and center like MacArthur, and he didn't get his just desserts till late in the game, I think it was. But I think that whole move transpired because the referee actually allowed play to move on. The ball comes long pass from Ben White to Tavares.
Benjamin.
Yeah, Benjamin White.
He wants to be called Benjamin, Ray.
To Tavares. Well, he's so petty, isn't he? You hold me accountable all the time, right? Right?
Yep.
Ray,
Top
what's
form,
your
Ray.
name?
Top form.
My name.
Do you like
I've got
Raymond?
No, only my mom calls.
Okay, exactly. You just answered the question. Why
Yeah.
Benjamin is what we call him.
'Cause he
Maybe
wants
only
to
his
be
mom
called
calls him Ben.
He wants to be called Benjamin. The ball comes to Tavares on the left. A great cross in. And
I call
think
him Raymond all the time. He doesn't get mad.
Tony. Gonna get a yellow card, Tony.
Don't make him go all Dr. Evil. With the whole...
Constant fouling. He's persistent fouling. He'll get a yellow card for this.
I'm being like Aston Villa. How did they not get a red card during that game with all those yellows?
Well,
I'm surprised they finished with 11 men.
They walked the line, right? So Saka plays the ball back, and I'm going to talk about. I'll go to you, Tony, then, since you want to talk so much. Big up Lacazette. Lacazette, I feel, is one of those players who will put his foot there, right in the position. He did this against Sheffield United 2 years ago in the FA Cup quarterfinal, and he can. You don't want to say engineer a penalty decision, but he makes the referee make a decision because he puts his foot there. Target thinks he's clearing the ball, and it's a clear and obvious foul, right, Tony?
Yeah, he does it a lot. He usually gets about 50% of them. Really, he should get all of them because they're all fouls in a box, which should be penalties. He's a master of that. He's kind of, do you want to consider that a dark art? He knows how to do it. He draws it. I still don't know why he didn't take a penalty. He should be taking all other penalties.
I
He's a
suppose.
hustler. Lacazette is a hustler. He'll always be in the mix, trying to get amongst things. I like him. I rate him massively as a player. I think he's great for us. And this is what he does. This is what he does for us. When he comes on, he makes a difference. You know, when he's playing, he makes a difference. He's always in the mix, creating things, creating, little 1-2s, getting in and about things. I think you've always got a chance with him on. I don't think he gets enough time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he can give us 90, though. So
well,
he can give us 70.
His fitness didn't allow for that, and you were dead right, Gary. You called it. You said you didn't think Lacazette would be able to go 90, and he broke down on 60 minutes. So you called it exactly.
I mean,
right.
I'd like to see Martinelli come in and give him a, if Laca starts, Martinelli's coming in between 30 and 70 minutes. Hey, what's up, Alex? All right, so
Alex.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I would like to see because I think you've been I would say outsmarted with Lacazette for like 70 minutes, 60, 70 minutes, and then Martinelli just comes in there and just kind of just blitzkrigs you. I don't know how else to say it, but just comes in there.
I don't think any player can play 70 minutes the way Lacazette does.
No.
Yeah, but he hasn't
played full 90.
He hasn't been playing games, Tony. So he was always, what did he get, 20, 25 minutes on Monday, and then to play another.
And he changed that game, and he was made an impact the last time he came on the sub. He should have already earned the starting position.
Absolutely.
Is that what he is now? Is he now just a 30, 40-minute impact player second half? Is that what he's kind of resigned to
That's
now?
not what he is, but that's what
not what he is, but is that what he is now?
That's That's what he is to
to
Arteta.
us. Hmm.
I mean, I think we could flip the script a little bit and have him start games. But
Yeah,
Aubameyang is the guy you're paying all the big money. I'm looking at Gary the whole time because I know this. It's a tricky one, Gary. I know how you feel about it. We're paying all the money to Aubameyang, but Lacazette may be the better striker, and we still don't know what we're going to do with Lacazette.
Well, and that's Arsenal. Do you play your better
In a
players, or do
nutshell.
you play the man that makes the most money? I think you play the better player,
Yeah.
right? I
Yep.
mean, that's what you do. I mean, Leno supposedly, I guess Leno probably makes more than Ramsdale, right? No,
Yeah.
you just play the better player, right? You know, you just
It's
play
not
the
about
better
cash.
player.
Yeah, it's not about cash. It's about the best player.
Yeah, I mean, Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe aren't the most expensive players playing in those positions, but guess what? They play because they're the better players. But for some reason, forward, we don't do that, right? Because of Bamiyang.
But then we play them together, though. So it's been working when you play them together. So
we found a way to use that. Now, in the past, I don't think it's been as nice. We saw it this one time, and we saw it at the end of the last match. Can we consistently see that from them? I don't know if they can hold up.
I think they have. Like I say, I don't think Laca can maybe give us a full 90, but I think you could certainly start them because they have a good understanding and a good connection. Those two players.
Let's
I
get
think
through
they feed well off.
a few comments here. I want to bring first start for Tavares, and he lost it. Tierney, who? We're getting to a point where we like this competition, and this is a player. This is a player you want to see this. He's doing everything in his power to make Arteta make that decision. And
But the big but of it is, let's try not to gaslight some of these new players. You guys know what I mean by the term gaslight, but let's try our best not to do it because we just need to just see if there's going to be consistency. There's far too many fans. Yeah, you see, even like here, Alex is saying, is it me or does Saka look tired or jaded? It's not just you, Alex. It's a lot of people. Well, it's basically based on Arteta. Arteta's going to burn ESR and Emil Smith-Rowe and Saka out if he's not careful.
I mean, the shot from Saka when he made that long run, to me, that's when he just didn't have anything else in him when he got to that ball.
Yeah, run his gas out. Yeah.
The shot was just a dribbler right to the goalkeeper, and you're like, that one needs to be a strike because you have all the time in the world to get yourself set up, and you got to put your foot through that ball. The goalkeeper, it's got to be a little bit of air on it. It just kind of dribbled to the goalkeeper. Is he low on
confidence, Gary?
No, I think I just don't. I think that one for me was he was tired. It was a long run. He needed to put his foot through the back of that ball and get it through the back of the net, and he just couldn't.
What about the one Emmy saved? You putting that down to Emmy as a good save? Oh, there I said the word Emmy. Sorry.
No, I just don't think. I mean, I actually put it in my notes. I don't think Emil Smith-Rowe and Saka yet have that finishing touch that we're looking for. Right?
Saka was getting there, wasn't he?
He's getting there, but it just the finish just needs more work, right? So like he does a lot of work to get in those situations, but he doesn't have anything left at that point to finish it off, right? Right. So that's kind of what I saw from him. Because if they're 2-3 years from now doing the exact same things, we're laughing because that match is over. That match is over, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're laughing because the match is over and they're probably going to come out to rest. You know what I mean? That's where you want to be. And that's why I think we're 2-3 years ahead of where those players need to be. Right? We're asking them to do things they can't do, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to wait, but we need to rush them as well until we get a replacement.
If they're making the same thing, if you're doing the same things 2 years from now, then we have an Iwobi situation. Matt, should you ever drop your number one striker?
Do we have it? Sorry.
Well, see, with this, I know there's different ways of looking at this, and I know, Arteta has very much gone down the route of playing players back into form or trying to, with Aubameyang, who, was really, really struggling, and I can see why you might want to do that, but I think, to be honest, I think you play the players who are in form, playing the best, whether that is your 300 grand a week striker, or whether it's, Nketiah or, Martinelli or Pepe, even stick him up front, or Lacazette, whoever is in form and
You mean
knocking
you
the
don't
ball
bench
into
the
the
guy
back
that scores 3 goals in his first 3 games last season?
Yeah, Lacazette.
And I think you play on form. It's great, and obviously you don't want to be dropping your best striker if you can, but if you've given him a good enough chance that we have with Orba, and obviously he's getting goals again now, he's starting to pick up and get goals again. But I think you play players on form. That's my personal opinion.
Tony?
Yeah, you definitely play him on form. To me, it made no sense with times he benched Lacazette last year on that account. Some of Pepe, every time Pepe would get a good run going, he'd get benched. It made no sense. Like Lacazette, I said he scored 3 goals first 3 games. To the bench he goes for no reason.
Gary, this is the problem we have, though. We look better with Lacazette in the team, but Oba is the club captain, right?
Yeah. Before I answer that, yeah, this is Highbury. This is Emirates. For those that were asking earlier,
It isn't night
we
anymore,
just asked the
Gary?
question about the number 1 striker. Do you drop your number 1 goalkeeper? Because that's what we did. And why do we do that? Because it just wasn't working, right? You could see that there were some things some things missing from Leno's game that you wanted, and you tested out Ramsdale and he showed you what you got. So you need different things from Lacazette, from Aubameyang, and he can't give it to you. So you bring Lacazette in there, and you see those things, and then why don't you go with those things? He gives you something. He brings, not only does he bring his game, but he actually brings up the game of everybody else around him. And we don't have the space for stragglers, right? Aubameyang's not bringing anybody along with him, right? Who is he improving when he comes on the pitch?
No, he's at the tip of the arrow.
No, it's not even that. It's that he doesn't bring, like, he's not, he'll come back and help sometimes, and he'll press, right? Which is great. I think you can get the same pressing from Martinelli, but you're going to get a little bit more from him as well. All right. That's what I think.
My players who are on form.
We always agree with you. No, I don't. I don't agree with you. Not all the time, anyway.
Me?
Oh, it's you? Oh, it's
anyone, Ray. Anyone.
Talk about the group.
He didn't say. He said Arsenal fans circle, and then I assume I'm part of that group.
You are. It is not me. It is all of us. We are.
He said almost always agree. Okay, almost. Sorry, I get that.
Gary and I will almost will tend to agree on some things, and it doesn't seem that way because we go from the opposite ends and we end. Okay, we're talking about the same thing, Gary. It's okay. But I think maybe Gary tries to poke me a little, pick on me a little bit. You know what I mean? But maybe he doesn't. I'll let him tell you. Truth be told, last season there were times when Emile Smith-Rowe was tired and out on his feet, but this season he looks fit and finishes games. I think he's just a year older. He's developing, and we want him to make that step forward, Alex, and we want Saka. Those are the two really we want to come along and start scoring more goals for Arsenal because we have been dependent on Pepe, and while I do like Pepe, he's the chaos I think we need. But we won a game without Pepe. Let's not be mistaken about that. Matt, question for you from Alex. Does Arteta overcoach the players during the game?
I think he's been guilty of that previously, definitely. Especially you could hear it, particularly when we didn't have fans in the stadiums. You could hear the constant chatter. It was constant all the time. And you're just thinking, whoa, just come on, let the guys play with their own mind and their own free will. Let them make their own decisions, and learn and play. I think that was definitely something that was going on maybe last season and the beginning of the season. Personally, I don't think he's done that as much in the last few games or in recent memory. And I might be wrong. Maybe others will disagree with that. I don't think I've seen that. Maybe it's because you can't hear him as much because obviously you've got crowds back in. I don't think he's doing that as much as he was. And I think that's a good thing. I think it's great. He's obviously very technical minded. He's very gifted. I think he's got a lot up here that he wants to get across to players, but I think he's learned to maybe rein that in a little bit. So I think he has had criticism for that, and I'm glad he's done that.
I hope he's learned some lessons. The
Yeah.
main lessons from last season was keep playing those players who are doing it for you, who are in form, and don't break that cycle.
Yeah.
Like Lacazette, maybe we want Lacazette to have a part, maybe not on Tuesday, but on the next weekend. Why drop your number one? It's like Klopp leaving out Salah. Laca worked hard against Villa in that number 10 center forward role. He transitioned the play and linked up well with the rest of the midfield and forwards. So I don't know. The number one is Aubameyang right now, the one that's in possession. But I think the best thing for the team would be Lacazette. And really, we'll get into the cup game a little bit later toward the end here.
I would definitely like to see Martinelli with Lacazette behind him. I think I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
What would you like to see?
Martinelli up top with Lacazette behind him. That's what I would love to see.
Now, Gary, we talked on Thursday night, and I said 4-4-2 is a thing of the past. We'll never see that again. Happy to see it. I'm happy to see it. A day later.
Yeah.
I think I argued with you a little bit.
Right? Yeah, we argue a little bit. No, we argue all the time. Come on, this is just this is how it works. This is how this family works.
You wore me down. I'm taking a 2-week break.
What have you done to him, Gary? What have you done?
You broke me, Gary. You broke me.
Yeah.
No, but big up yourself. But more so, changing the team to suit the players. Is this development for Arteta?
I hope so, because that's what he needs to do. He's not going to get everybody he wants, and he's never going to get everybody healthy at the same time, right? I mean, right now I think the reason why you see Middlesbrough Rowe the way he's playing right now is because he got the summer off. Saka did not get a summer off to either work on his rest, work on some things that he needs to work on, i.e. finishing. And, at some point, this is where when we always compare the top youngsters in England, we always look at Foden, right? Foden, how much did he play in Euros compared to Saka? Not much, right? He was injured, I think, for part of it. And even now, he doesn't have to play every match, right? They can sit him, right? So when he comes in, he looks fresh and ready to go, and he looks better. I bet if Saka got the same amount of rest in terms of time away from the field, time to kind of get his mind right, he'll look just as good, better than what we're seeing right now, I think, because he'll come in ready to go. So,
No, right now Saka needs to be wrapped. Gary needs to be wrapped in cotton. Him and Emil Smith Rowe. Wrap them in cotton wool and just put them aside and be like, right, just sleep or do sleep. When you want food, ring the bell.
I think Reddy is trying to pick on Gary a little bit. Jack is injured. You know that, Reddy. Come on.
You know what? Unless the Maitland-Niles shows that he can cover for that midfield, Jaka will be right back in when January comes, or as soon as he can. I think they're going to push him to come as early as they can. If December,
he's making nice recovery, he'll probably be back in November.
If December turns out to be when players are leaving for AFCON, right? We're going to need him sooner if we don't have a replacement for Partey.
Yeah. Tony's saying Jack will be back in November. I doubt that. Maybe December.
They've been building him up, saying that he's making great progress. I expect him to be back a lot sooner.
Mahir, Alex says Arteta would still benefit from having a strong and vocal number 2.
A strong and vocal number 2, as in
if you're like Stan says, if you're making a mistake, you want to be like, "Are you sure you want to do that, boss?
Yes.
Are you sure you want to do this? You want to make this mistake? You know what I mean?"
But unfortunately, it's come to a time now where it's just there's no more time and really for Arteta. I believe we should have a proper coach and then have a strong number 2 with him.
Mm-hmm.
With that proper coach, because one huge mistake that could be made is, say for example, Emil Smith Rowe and Saka get burnt out, right? then we're going to be missing other main players like Partey and them for that international break, which could be like, I think, 3 or 4 games. And then, now what happens if then also you don't want to put, you'd be forced into playing Pepe and Martinelli and possibly forcing Xhaka back in and having Xhaka pick up another injury, then we short on like a whole 2 handfuls of players and having to go up against still like Liverpool and other squads. I mean, it's a worry.
I think you make a great point. We have to start managing our squad properly now because we do have an international break coming up in 3 games. And then we're going to have the dreaded...
The third one of the year. Yay.
And then we're going to have the dreaded AFCON as well, which is really something we have to start.
All of these international competitions are a waste of space.
They are, but they're on the calendar.
Yeah, I mean,
and we're going to use our
we
players.
do love our countries, but how much do we love our countries? Like,
Wenger's
even
trying
like
to get
with
them all in the
myself,
summer.
even like with myself, no offense to any local people here in South Africa that watch, but our Premier League, the PSL, and our local squad, which is Bafana, South Africa, are absolute dog stuff. Absolute trash. I'm sorry. It's complete trash.
Dog shit right here. Dog
Alex
shit.
is loving the 4-4-2. People forget Wenger used the formation 99% of the time. I think Laca and Alba should start.
But I mean, who was up top for Wenger when he did it? I'm just asking because for those who don't know, I think I haven't guessed, but
Dennis Bergkamp was one of them.
It's actually a 4-4.
It doesn't matter who you have after that, right? It just so happens that you have somebody just as good, if not better, in terms.
It wasn't a front two.
Go ahead, Tony.
Was it a
front
4-1?
two? It's a 4-4-1-1.
4-4-1-1.
Tony. You're splitting hairs all the time.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how we played. That's how we played on Friday, right? I mean,
Henry.
when was Lacazette ahead of or in line with Aubameyang? Not too often, right?
Nah, not behind him.
But Tony, you always have a 9 and you have a 10. The 10 traditionally drops a little bit deeper than the 9. We're still a 2 up front.
They're trying to say we had 2 strikers. We didn't have 2 strikers. He's playing behind him. We're playing 2 up front.
He was a striker. Bergkamp was a striker.
He was not playing up in the front. He
Tony,
was
Dennis Bergkamp. Tony, was Dennis Bergkamp a striker?
Was he playing behind?
He didn't answer the question, so you can. That just means a yes, and we move on.
What was the formation, Ray?
4-4-2.
No, it wasn't.
Gary, talk to
So now, see, that means you don't agree with Alex, right? So there you go, Alex. I told you we don't.
I want to say it's a 4-4-2.
You just said it. 4-4-2.
4-4-2.
You just said it yourself. 4-4-2. And Bergkamp was a striker.
No, I said 4-4-1-1.
We're going back to.
Look how we lined up, Ray.
We're going back to City and Liverpool last year, Gary.
I thought you liked all those games back then, Ray. You're watching them when you're back in Ireland.
It's more of a second striker.
Bergkamp was a 10. The 10 plays just behind the number 9.
Yeah, it's a second striker, effectively.
Yeah.
You can't say that, Matt. You just.
That's
so now we're all in agreement. What's the next topic, Ray?
Gary, it's Tony Binary.
Tony Binary. There we go.
Oh man.
Tony was right though.
Do I need a 2-week break from Gary or Tony? I don't know.
I don't do anything. I didn't do anything.
It might be a combination. The 2 up top are beating me down. Would you play striker with Tony, Gary?
Don't think so. As we play Leicester away on Saturday lunchtime.
Think so. We play Leicester away.
Would you play striker with me, Gary?
Striker with you? I don't know because you don't know where I'm playing because you think I'm playing as a. What is it? You think I'm playing as?
As a 10. Gary, are you the new Ozil?
No, you know what? This the Tuesday match. Aubameyang and like I said, aren't playing. They shouldn't even. That shouldn't even
No.
be a thought.
Saka and Emil Smith Rowe, wrap them up.
Laca definitely can't play. He's gonna play.
Definitely not.
He's gonna
Please,
play
just
Friday.
wrap yourself up in cotton and just chill out.
Yeah, I guess to this question, I think like 2 years ago, if I recall, I remember seeing Aubameyang come back and defend. Because that was when, he used to do that. He would come back and defend,
On the
especially.
wing.
I think it was a cup match where he did that. I forgot who we were playing, but he was coming back and he was like playing almost like a fullback playing back there because we just needed it at the time. So he can do it. Can he do it now? No. Do we want him to do it? I don't think so. I think we want to figure out a way to get him the ball as much as we can, but we can't. So I'm not sure if that's ever going to change going forward. So yeah, he's almost obsolete in this system that we have right now. Lacazette gives us what we need. So does Arteta see that? I don't know. We'll find out in the next time that Lacazette is healthy.
Is that you answering the question?
He's seen it last December and January, and he went away from it again.
Modified his game that much compared to Lacazette?
I don't think he has, but I also don't think he should. If you got him for a particular reason,
it's not his game.
And if you're not going to play to his strengths, then he's not. It's not going to work, and that's the problem. He I think I've heard. I don't know if I heard it on Alex's show or not, but a lot of people have just said, you know what, he needs to be the third guy, right? Not the guy who creates the pass, not the guy who makes the pass, but the guy who receives the pass for the shot. That's where he needs to be, and that's he can't play defense and then be in that position. So, and we don't play that way, right? We don't have enough. We just haven't shown that.
Turney would learn what a through ball is.
There you go, Tony.
That coming in from the left.
There we are. Yeah.
There you go, Tony. The Iceman was number 10 behind Henry and Wright. Now he was second striker though.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but we did not play a 4-4-2. The Bergkamp is a 4.
The world is wrong. Who partnered Ian Wright?
Yeah.
No,
I mean, like I said, I think if you notice, I watched the game again, and in that first half, Aubameyang was pressing the whole time. Well, not a whole time, but he was pressing a lot. To start that second half, he couldn't do it anymore. And the game started. They started to control a lot more of that ball. To me, is what I saw. So I don't think he can do that for 90 minutes, and that's probably understandable. But when he's not doing that, then we're just in trouble. That's when I think they got a little bit more control of the game, and that's when they started getting shots. I mean, luckily they didn't make any, but they got opportunities, and I think it starts up top for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to play that style, Aubameyang can't do that right now. He can't go 70, 80 minutes doing that.
Thanks for joining us, Presto Play. We'll see you on the next one.
All right. Yeah.
And Gary, I think Lacazette, we saw what we did December 26th and on into that next few games, and Lacazette was instrumental in helping the rest of the team work. Right?
Yeah, but how does Arteta not see it? That's the problem. Why does he keep trying to shoehorn?
Well, you know what? He doesn't. You can see Lacazette is not in his plans because when they asked him questions about Lacazette, he was non-committal. True. He was non-committal on anything really leading to Lacazette continuing playing for Arsenal.
And
there was rumors we're offering him a contract now. So who knows?
This is the problem when the business conflicts with the sport. You know what I mean? And maybe the business decision is to move Lacazette on. But for the team, to keep Lacazette in the team is probably the best thing for the team on the field.
But the thing is, you say it's like you could say, well, personally, I'd like to see Lacazette stay, but then you could argue, obviously, like with his age and everything like that. But then you think, well, Aubameyang, they must be similar age.
Lacazette
is
probably a couple years younger.
So, well, there you go. For me, I'd probably rather keep Laca. If Laca's younger, I would personally want to see Laca stay, mad or not. But
that is the planning. That is the issue of the planning for the last 5 years when we went and got those two strikers.
And this is where we should have spent that extra 15 to 20 mil and get either Edouard or Daxon. And then you're definitely pushing Balogun and Martinelli out if that's where you think you are with the team. Balogun would be gone, right? He'd be loaned out immediately, right?
And we should have spent
and
70
then you
million
have this problem. You got
Martinez.
3 strikers, and you're like, who do I play? Right? Based on what I saw from Edouard, I would love to. He would have worked fine. Even Patson Daka has shown that he could do it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would have then like I said, would be gone in January if that's the only one you could let go.
Yeah.
And maybe still Aubameyang will be gone in January if you have that kind of setup as well. Right now, it kind of stuck with both of them, I think, unless Lacazette's like, no, I'm out of here. Let me go. If you don't want to be committal to me, then let me go.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the problem. They can't do that come January, right? Or come December, right? In December, they're going to know that they can't let him go. They know they're going to miss out a striker.
I'm surprised he hasn't asked for a transfer yet.
Yeah, I mean,
to be honest,
the longer it goes, the closer it gets to December, the less chance of them being able to say yes, you can go. Now you've got a disgruntled employee basically at your company, right? Who's stuck there, doesn't want to be there because you don't want him.
That is the issue. We talked about 50 million spent on White should have been used on a DM, which we are struggling a little bit with in midfield. Tottenham, we have the worst coach in the league. United, hold my beer.
Now they always. I think Ole hasn't changed. There's nothing about Ole that's changed in the last year or two. Because he cycles through good and bad, streaks of play or games of play. So
Hasn't been sacked yet. Matt, did you have something?
No, I was just going to say, so that where Alex was just saying about spending, where we should have maybe spent the money on a defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying that I think Basuma may be gone in January? So clubs might be interested in going from in January, still might be available then.
Wow.
I think Liverpool were circling, weren't they, at one point?
He isn't in jail.
Yeah, there is that issue now. There is a alleged case against him.
Is there? I don't know. I've seen this. What's the case?
It's
attempted R word.
Sexual assault.
Attempted R word.
Oh no, I think I did. Yeah, no, actually, I think I did say. Right, okay. Yeah.
Which may make him persona non grata a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I have always said, and I posted this multiple times, that you could have taken the 50 million, and you could have kept Luiz, kept Saliba, and still have money to purchase on a defensive mid.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I think you could have done that, and maybe even a little, and then you probably could have still had a little bit extra to buy a striker. Right. If you spend 50, you can spend 50 on White. You could have done those things with your center backs and bought a defensive mid and a striker for around 50, 60, based on the prices that we saw players going for.
Go ahead.
And you could have paid whatever Eddie needed to go to Newcastle. You could have paid that, and Edouard would have come. Right, all of that could have happened, and the money's
and Odegaard
not been that much different.
And Odegaard as well. That would have been 80 million. Benjamin, 50 million for Benjamin, going once, going twice. Yeah. So well, to the Arsenal.
At least he said Benjamin. Tony's watching. No, Gary Luiz had to leave. Saliba will.
Why did Luiz have to leave?
Well, do you know what? I don't begrudge the money being spent on White. Maybe the value and the money we did spend on him is actual value. You could argue a bit too much to pay, but I don't mind that we spent the money on him and fill in that position. Luiz, elderly by footballing standards, I suppose. We could have given him a 1-year extension. But, how many times we bemoaning the fact that he'd make silly mistakes and cost us games at times. I think we forget that a little bit easily as well. We're all on his back at times. You
don't have Gabriel.
We needed to address it. I think we did need to address the centre back position because as you saw when White wasn't there, we were having a right nightmare at centre back. And actually, when he's come back in, he's been very good. So I don't begrudge us spending the money on White, but we definitely do need to spend money in that midfield area because the last couple of games, Brighton and Palace have been overrun a little bit.
No, the reason why I had my train of thought maybe lost there. Luiz, yes, has these negative plays, but Xhaka does have the same number, and for some reason he's loved by the manager.
No, I get that.
You know what I mean? So for me, that's not a negative against him in the eyes of Arteta because his favorite player does that consistently as well. Mm-hmm. But I don't believe Gabriel is Gabriel without Luiz right now. I think just that relationship that they had for his first season, even though Luiz didn't play that first match, is the reason why Gabriel is where he is today.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we always said we needed some sort of mentor. The same way we say Lacazette brings that seniority to the pitch when he comes on, right? Togetherness. And I believe Luiz did the same thing because if he needed to show the defense in the air, Luiz was there. If he
Luiz was phenomenal. For aerial, he was great. But also we've got Tommy Asu who helps out with that now, and I think he's been very good with that. Yeah. Luiz, really, for me, I think the key having Luiz there would have been his experience. That kind of personality in the dressing room would have been fantastic. I think to have around for another year, especially with the young squad that we got now.
And I think we've been trying to renew and replicate that leadership that was missing from David Luiz to this new team now. And this will play into... Mahir, don't take a bite on that yet. You're gonna answer this
crunch.
I'm gonna let you salivate. I'm gonna let you salivate. When you want to eat something, you can't, right?
Yeah, you just
you be the first answer. Who's the surprise player so far? And we'll go counterclockwise. And who's
been the most disappointing
player? We're gonna make you pay.
Make your case. Okay, I'll make my case also. Surprise player, Ramsdale. Didn't want him. A lot of Arsenal fans didn't want him, doubted him, and he's slowly catching our hearts, pulling on our heartstrings. And I love being proved wrong.
Yes.
Who's been the most disappointing player? Let's see.
Is he injured right
now? Benjamin, can you please come to the front of the class?
Oh, really?
Please.
Ben, why?
Please. Benjamin.
Really?
Why have you been disappointed in Benjamin?
No, I'm sorry. I don't actually know I can't answer the second part of the question because I'm not actually quite too sure. We've had lapses in concentration, but I'm not being too sure who's been all in all. If I was being biased, I'd probably say Xhaka, but he hasn't been featured in a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I can't honestly tell you who.
All right. Well, you might think.
Odegaard. My bad.
Wow.
Martin, come to the front of the class here. Please tell these people why you are such a disappointment.
So, Odegaard, he's had some highs and some lows. Gary, what have you got?
All right. So my surprise player, I think that's really hard. I want to say it's a little hard, but I kind of feel like for me, I was expecting a little jump from Emile Smith-Rowe. But I think we've gotten a big jump from him this season. He got the number 10 jersey, and we're like, I don't know, that's going to be too big, too heavy on his chest, and all of that. He's taken it in stride, and he's been more of a leader on the pitch as he has in the past. So I think, in every game that he's gone out and just shined, they've been really easy matches for us these days. So I'm going to say Emile Smith-Rowe. Surprise. And you know what? I think you would have gotten a similar jump from last season to this one if Saka didn't have to play in Euros. And that's the difference there. And that's why, I kind of feel like he needs to be brought in slowly and given that time to step away from the game a little bit to get his mind and his body right. Arteta probably doesn't see it that way, but I think he needs to for the longevity of the player and where he wants that team to be. If they're talking about the future, that's what he's going to have to do, I believe, to get the most out of him. Because next summer is it World Cup, right? Or it's next year is the World Cup.
November.
So next year is World Cup. So once again, he's going to be double. He's going to be doing some really extra time on his legs and stuff. So that for Emil Smith Rowe was a surprise, positively. Disappointing. I mean, it would have been easy to say Xhaka, but I think the most disappointing for me, Erdegaard is a good is one answer, but I don't think. I always thought of him and Emil Smith Rowe kind of switching places, like in terms of one would start, the other one would sit, kind of thing, and that's not where we are right now.
Would you have said
But
Partey?
I was going to actually say Pepe for me, because Pepe's been given. I think he wants to play him, but then he's looking at Emil Smith Rowe and he's looking at Saka and he's going, well, this is what these guys give me, and that and that's not. They're not at your skill level when it comes to scoring and attacking. You're supposed to got more experience doing that, and I can't get that out of you consistently enough for 90 minutes. And every time I bring them in, that's exactly what they do. They put their name, they put their stamp on the game every time they're in there. Pepe disappears, and we're like, damn, if he could have just done that, in 10 minutes or 15 minutes in the Crystal Palace game, we want to see that for 60 minutes, right? And then the game's over. Once again, if he gives us what he gave us in that last match for about 60 minutes, 2-3 goals scored, we move on, right? Because he can do that. And that's why when we saw the older players coming off the pitch, guess what? They gave us all they had. They gave us everything they had, and that's why they had to come off. All right? Aubameyang probably wouldn't have come off years ago because he could go to 90. Now he's not there yet. He gave a lot. Lacazette, similar thing. He had that little spin around, and everybody's like, "Oh, that didn't look right." He didn't really want to spin and take that shot, and then he came off. And then he called right after that. He called right. So you just had an opportunity to score. You couldn't do it, and you realize I can't do anymore. And he called himself out. So that's, and Pepe, like I said, it's Pepe for me. And that's disappointing because he has the skill sets to do exactly what all those other players do, and he's not. They're showing him exactly what you need to do. If he was so offensive minded that, we'll take we're overlook the defense to some degree, then it'd be so easy for him to play. But he doesn't even do that, right? We're asking him to attack. He doesn't do it enough when he gets the ball at his feet, and he should. But yeah, so
right.
Pepe for me, I guess. And it's,
Tony.
Yeah.
To me, for the surprise best players be between one of the three new guys, Ramsdale, Sambi, and Tomiyasu. But for me, it's hands down Ramsdale because all the fans were like, "Fuck you, we don't want you." 80%.
No, that wasn't it.
A percentage.
Yes, it was.
You didn't want to spend $24 million on a backup goalkeeper. That's
there was a lot of people who were giving him crap on social media, which is not cool as well. So it's the loud
I like seeing all the fans end up with eggs on their face. And for the disappointment, it'd be between Pepe, White because of his price. We could have got Kanante or Upamecano for cheaper. For 35 to 40 million, 50 million because he's British. Too much. Hasn't really shown that he's that great yet. He might prove it in time, but hasn't yet. But it'd be between Odegaard and Pepe. Pepe's been a huge disappointment, but he hasn't been given that much time, so it's kind of hard to say if it's him or Arteta, but I'd say Pepe.
Like a good judge, I'm taking all of your recommendations on board. I'm trying to decide the verdict myself. Matt, what do you think?
Do you know what? I think, a couple for surprises. I think Ramsdale, I totally agree with the comments about Ramsdale. I kind of I thought he was going to do quite well, and I actually did. I didn't understand what all the negativity was about myself. And actually, he has actually surprised me still, though. Although I backed him to come to the club. I wanted him to do well. I thought he would do well. He has still been phenomenal, and he's far exceeded what I thought he was going to achieve in this time frame. So he's a massive surprise. But for me, I think Tomiyasu is probably my pleasant surprise because I knew absolutely nothing about him. Mm-hmm. it was a position that we were really struggling in. He's come in, he's adapted. Well, he's had none of this, foreign player adaptation period time frame to settle in. He's just gone in and bossed it in that position, and he's done phenomenally well. So for me, I think the pleasant surprise is probably Tommy Asu. Absolutely love him and what he's doing so far. Disappointment, like Tony says, I would kind of veer towards Pepe, but like you say, he doesn't really have much game time. For me, because the bar's been set so high, Tierney was a player I love. I think he's brilliant. I rate him so highly.
Yeah.
But because he set the bar so high last season, for me, he hasn't really hit those heights this season, and he's struggled, I think, for form a little bit. So for me, I think, not because I don't rate him or because I think he's a bad player, but I think just because the bar was set so high and he's not quite been able to get back there this year so far. Hopefully he does, but for me, it's probably Tierney.
Tierney's been disappointing for you.
Yeah, just because I rate him so highly.
We are seeing Tavares excelling and taking his chances. And
Tavares
taking his chances and really moving forward like you want a young player to do, to take the chances given to him. And you're right, I think, Matt, at Tierney's level of very high consistency, he's just come down a little bit, and we're seeing Tavares getting to that point where if he's consistent enough, the question will rumble, should Tavares play ahead of Tierney or not? That'll be the question. But I was going to go with Tavares as being the most surprising, but Ramsdale, I think Mahir and I, we questioned him at first. Should Arsenal go chase this player for that price? But he's absolutely, not only through his performances, but in the way that he's brought in energy to the club, he's been brilliant. And we're seeing him play like a central midfielder between our two defenders, playing long balls, cutting attackers, cutting the press out as well, So we're seeing some good stuff for him. I think we have to remember he's a young player. He's going to make a mistake here and there, and we have to sort of cut him some slack when that happens. But Ramsdale, for me, I will agree with that. You talk about, everybody's talking about Pepe, or some of you talked about Pepe. I just feel like some of the things he does that are positive gets lost in the mix somehow. You know what I mean? Like,
because
we didn't score half our goals if Pepe's not on the pitch, I feel.
Nah, but you see, Ray, the thing is, why people are so frustrated sometimes with Pepe is because he overcomplicates things, man. Simple stuff like, should I shoot or should I pass it? He will pass instead of the obvious thing, which would be take a shot and score. And then when he's supposed to not take a shot and pass it on, like the reverse happens. So, like,
or
people see that too
it
often.
for 30 yards.
Or dribbles.
I think it's worse than that. Is when he should shoot. But I think it's different. I think it's worse than that because I don't even think he.
I don't even think it's shoot.
He either goes backwards or he doesn't shoot, and those are the things that because if he attacks, he put pressure on the defense and he lets up, and then we have to reset all of a sudden. It's like, why aren't you good with the ball at your feet? If you are, you should be able to. You should be the one.
Why don't you just think it? There's 3-4 people waiting. There's 3-4 people waiting for the ball. Why don't you think it in or send a cross in if you're unsure of what to do? But always the wrong decision gets made.
We went over this in terms of one-footed players and them being good and who's a good player that he can emulate. And it's Ian Robin, all right? He's one-footed, but guess what? It doesn't matter. He puts you in a situation where he's able to get the ball on his strong foot, and you're in trouble every time. And he can do that if he wants to. But he doesn't want to, and that's the difference between him and like a Saka or a Milsroof Road. They want to punish the defense a lot of times. They will put pressure on him. What do you think would have happened if that was Pepe running down that left side with the ball at his feet, and all he could see is the goalkeeper in front of him? What would you think would have happened? Would he have taken a shot? Right now, I don't think he would have taken that shot. I think he would have said, "You know what? I've got a defender coming on my right foot. I'm going to pull this one back, right?"
I think you would have taken the shot. You're talking about the Emil Smith Rowe
Yeah,
goal we have
yeah,
to talk
yeah.
about as well. Ramsdale.
He
has
doesn't have the
struggled.
confidence to even do that.
And I think to answer Alex's question, I would go with Erdegaard. From what you think, what you expect from the player at the beginning of the season, has he achieved those goals? I think he's gone missing in quite a few of our games. His only piece of quality has been away to Burnley that I can remember. He's played well in Northern Derby as well, but
Yeah.
the whole team did.
Yeah. I mean, for me, Pepe, because of the potential. The potential for Pepe versus the potential for Erdegaard, totally different. Like if we got Pepe for 90, 60 minutes, we'd be laughing. I keep saying that we'd be laughing because it'd be like, how in the world do you stop this team, right? Because you see him when he gets him, like you said, he's out there and he's always around the goal scoring opportunities that we have. Well, think about if that was for 60 minutes, right? We'd be enjoying our football when we were watching it because we knew as soon as he got the ball at his feet, the other team was in trouble, right?
It's end product, isn't it? Ultimately, it's he gets into good positions, good places, but it's just that end product that you don't always get with him.
Of all of our players, I would think he needs a goal. I don't think he might have scored in the cup game, but that's it. Alex asking which players should form part of the core going forward, and should players be given a free pass if they are part of the core? Now, does that include Saka? Do you give Saka a free pass?
No, if you're going to be ruthless, you don't give anyone a free pass. You don't get any passengers. Nope. Everybody gets picked on form. Everybody gets picked if they're playing well. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a Saka, Partey, you get picked if you're playing well. The core, I think, on their day.
Players, right?
Sorry?
The young players, I think Alex is maybe talking about the young
players. I think they get a little bit more leeway because they're young, but then the whole squad's young. So I think it would be unfair. We had this before where we were giving people kind of, a bit more leeway than others, and it creates disharmony. Everyone's on a level playing field. I think that's the way it should be. And if you're playing well, you get picked, and that's good for a team because, all those players waiting in the wings, it means there's healthy competition because they know that if that guy trips up and isn't playing well, I've got an opportunity to play, and that lifts everybody. So that's good for everybody.
I don't think we can go back to a situation of a Martinez and Leno. I don't think that was healthy.
No.
Mayer, I think you're heading out pretty soon. You're.
Yeah, I'm just heading out. I just gotta make an urgent phone call, actually before 10:30, maybe before 15:15, and it's currently 10:00. I just wanted to have a last word and say, I mean, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Absolutely everything that you guys do, and everybody that subscribed to the channel, all our special guests also that come on and that are still to come on in the future. And I just hope you guys have a nice.
Yes.
Nice.
See you on the next show, guys.
Thanks,
love you all.
Yeah.
I'll be watching you guys from afar next week as well when my ear's back.
Yeah.
Go ahead, guys.
I was just gonna say about the core. I think for me it's easy to say who's not part of the core, right? Because we're not seeing them. Cedric, Chambers, Holding, Kolasinac,
Mari.
Allegedly,
I mean, those players aren't part of the core right now, and they can easily be replaced and enhanced based on what we want. I mean, their contracts might control whether they go or not, but they're not part of the core. I think Nketiah, not part of the core. I mean, he can't be part of the core if you got Balogun and Martinelli and Long sitting there as well, right? If you don't have those two, then maybe, but you got those two players that have potential in the future with the team, so it's like that's 5 players right there, not part of the core. If you're not in ruthlessness, if you have a young team, you should be rotating them anyways, right? That's why we don't see consistent play from them, is because they're playing too much. Like Erdegaard, maybe he doesn't play in one of those 3 games that he played, right? Because you saw something in him that just wasn't there. All right. As a coach, supposedly he's looking at them in practice and past performances and whatnot. Erdegaard needed to sit a game out or something like that and come in like he did in the last one at the end and give a little extra, get his feet wet, as they say.
We will go for about another 10 or 15 minutes here, and then we'll get out of here. We've got to cover Emil Smith Rowe and then our I don't know if it's a tendency that we seem to sit on 3-0 leads and not close the game out properly. We want to talk about that quickly. And then the Leeds game real quickly. Steven said Ramsdale has turned all the fans who doubted him or didn't want him into fans of his, and they've gone from not wanting him to playing every game. You have to give him respect. I think there's a lesson there. If you know the world's against you, you don't go negative. You don't get depressed about it. You bring a good energy and change perceptions. I think that's what Ramsdale has done, and I think he does a lot of good things in the community as well. And he just seems like an all-round nice person and a decent player to boot as well. Really, I don't agree. They say Gaza was overlooked. What's worse? Lame excuse. Paul Gaskin, I think. Podolski comes to mind when you mention one-footed players. Yeah, Wenger didn't use him properly.
I love Podolski. I love that guy so much.
cannon
Rate him so
on
much
the
as a
left leg.
player. Oh,
And he's still a gooner. He still reps the club.
See that thing there, the core group of players that they can rely on. I don't think we have that in terms of core players that you can rely on because they're young, right? We don't have like I always go back to the Bayern Munich team back when Muller was like in his 20s, low 20s, and who was he looking up to? He was looking up to like Robin and Ribery, right?
Yeah.
And now Mullen is that guy now in his late 20s, 30s, who the team's looking up to, right? We don't have that right now. You know, who's Saka looking up to? Who's Milsrufo looking up to? Who's Martinelli coming in to replace right now? That's like, you know what? Take my lead, continue on what I've just started. He doesn't have that right now. So that's where we're missing the core that you can rely on. We're missing that.
I think that comes next summer.
I think the core group of players is the young players that are going to grow together, and hopefully we do better in 8th place this season. We have to and progress that way. We saw the United way; it's not really working, so we're trying a different way. We'll see what happens. Stay posted week by week. I love Podolski. He's still a big fan of Arsenal. Still follows the club and still reps the club. Alex, the key problem with Arteta's core, we haven't got a system. If you put the right players in the right positions, you've got a chance as well. Assembled.
We don't know if we have a system yet, right?
Well, I have a problem with a system. There's no such thing as systems. There's a group of players that you put together in a pattern.
You have to have a system, or else you can't repeat it again.
I think pundits call it a system.
Whatever it is, we don't have something that's repeatable, right? That you can just plug and play, right?
A double pivot with Lacazette. I'd like to start there.
A double pivot with who?
With Lacazette up front.
But he wasn't up front, Ray.
That's what.
Tony doesn't understand football. That's okay.
He wasn't up front.
No, I mean, because think about it. In this last match, right? Tierney's out. You bring in Nuno. Oh, all right. There you go. All right. I don't think Sambi is the replacement for Xhaka. It's working now, but I don't think he was intended to be that guy because I think he was intended to be, Partey's replacement. So we're still missing that piece. All right. Xhaka's out. We don't have a true answer for it right now.
I think he's a midfielder that needs to be part of a double pivot, and I'm going to keep on saying that.
Who?
Lokonga.
No, I know he's going to be inconsistent as well. I mean, let's not forget. I think he's a very good player, Sambi, but I think we've got a long way to go with him. Obviously, I know he had leadership duties at Anderlecht, didn't he? So he's obviously got something about him. But we can't rely on him solely to kind of be the man next to Partey.
I know, but
we need Xhaka's replacement for Sambi to understudy.
Yeah, and I repped El Neni coming in. I'm quite happy to see Sambi coming in and doing the business and repairing what damage he thought he did from Monday. Brady said also depends on the club culture. Remember how Chesney was punished by Wenger. When Ray's away, the Arsenal fan circle is getting wrecked. No, I think these guys will fly the flag perfectly well without me. They might even prosper without me. It might be a better system without me in it. I could be the problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? You're the Aubameyang. You're just not coming back and playing the defense, and then you're releasing on the press. You know, saltwater
Saltwater
taffy. Is that
taffy.
a
Saltwater
beverage?
taffy, brew house parties,
Oh.
and flying
Blue
dog.
dog.
So it's just
Nice.
something I had around here.
You don't sound very confident on what you're drinking, Ray.
I didn't know what he was drinking. I just read the label, and I still didn't know.
Tony, tell us about the third goal. Emile Smith-Rowe, 13 seconds. He intercepts the ball and he scores at the other end.
He has a good run, good shot. I don't think a lot of other players on the team could do it. Kept his head down, just kept running. And great shot.
Great shot, a little bit of luck comes off Mings, but a great interception. Partey passes to Tavares, Gary, and Tavares plays a great ball into Aubameyang's feet.
Yeah, he tried that earlier in the match, and it just didn't come off because the defender is still too close, right? So he's got that pass down where he gets that pass in there, and he just tries to flip it back, forward for the play to run onto. So, yeah, he's got that one down. So that's the one thing he does really well. When it works, we get that player running off by himself. So, yeah. Enjoyed that one. Yeah, I mean, I to some degree, I think Saka could make that play. I don't know about his finishing right now. So,
yeah,
but he could make that
Saka
play.
had
We've seen him make that long run and get on the ball. So
we saw that for England, Gary, and it's nice to see it translated for Arsenal now.
Yeah, for Emile Smith-Rowe, definitely. Yeah. So, like I said, that's why he for me was the surprise because it's not that he's done better; it's just that he's gone even beyond what I expected to see from him. Like I thought that Odegaard coming onto the team would would limit his minutes in certain situations, and it hasn't.
I actually feels like he's having a better season so far than Odegaard, Matt. So, Matt, your thoughts? I don't know if you saw the goal, right? A really quick counter-attack and goes in off the post off Mings' deflection.
Yeah, no, I did see it. I caught up on the highlights. I thought, to be honest, because he kind of turned to use his right foot to shoot, but then obviously it caught the deflection, so it was obviously going to go the other side of the keeper, but actually ended up going on the near post. I actually thought he was probably going to score that either way. I thought it looked like it was going in anyway. Yeah, got a bit fortunate, but yeah, cracking run. Decided to go direct, which is great. Aubameyang's flick was fantastic. Great ball over. So yeah, it was really good goal to watch. But luckily, again, the luck was on our side. It was a right decision with the VAR for the penalty, but as we know, we don't usually get those. So it was nice that actually went our way, and obviously little things like the deflection, obviously going in as well, for us to get the third goal. So no, very, very happy with that. Very happy. It's good to see. Like I say, it was nice to know that the vibrations in my pocket as I was in the wedding were for us. For us. Nothing rude.
We all like vibrations in our pocket.
Whatever, not there's anything wrong with it, but however, whatever.
Phone
you do you, as they
yeah.
say, right? You do you, whatever.
It was a wedding.
Makes you happy, put a smile on your face.
It was a wedding, yeah, it was a wedding. But it's nice to know it was Arsenal buzzing 3 times rather than Aston.
I got that sound, nice. Good vibrations in my head now.
Do you know what? That's absolutely what it was. When I picked up my phone and I was able to look at it, it was a very nice sight to see at the end of the night.
I think when I come back from holiday, we'll have a podcast about what song is apt for Arsenal right now, and good vibrations is what I'm feeling.
I mean, I think Alex's question is: Have we
missed Xhaka, Gary?
Xhaka's
you'll get a mixed answer here.
Xhaka's substitute is what we're missing. Yeah.
Look at the form table. Look at what we did after he got a red card.
So you think 14? So Tony, you think 14 points out of 18 is pretty good going?
Yeah, without Xhaka in there. Yay.
Yeah. Okay. Matt, 3-0 up against Chelsea, Boxing Day. 3-0 up against Tottenham, North London Derby. 3-0 up against Villa on Friday. All of those games, we sort of sit back and concede. Am I being overly picky about this, or should we be a better team about closing out games?
I think the main thing for me in this game was to see that we righted the wrongs. That's the right way to say it. Righted the wrongs of
On
last
Monday.
week, learned from the
Yeah.
mistakes, and we actually got 3 points and played convincingly well, which we did. We ticked all of those boxes. I think to win the game is the first objective, to get all 3 points, be able to play consistently well for 90 minutes. That's the key objective. And then, you can talk about, conceding a late goal here or there after that. But it is something that we should be able to do. We should be able to close out a game effectively and not concede. It's not great, but it's not the end of the world. We played well. We got 3 good goals and we were in control. So for me, it's a bit of a minor point, but it's something we need to work on.
Is it part of just being an Arsenal fan that we feel like half chances could be goals? So they get 3-1. And then they get another half chance. Ooh, that was so close.
Yeah, well, we all know anybody on this channel, whether you're a guest in the chat or see us on the panel, we all know that it's a nervy time when anyone generally tends to get around our 18-yard box. It's been better of late, I must admit. I've been a lot less nervous probably this season and kind of towards the end of last season than I have been historically. So it is getting there. We're getting better. We've just not been particularly, I think someone else mentioned it earlier, entertaining. We've not been as entertaining as we could be going forwards or productive sometimes. But I think that'll come. Defensively, we're getting there. We just now need to consistently do what we did against Villa and Spurs and actually go and play attractive, fast-flowing football where we actually score more than 1 goal.
Yeah. Ray, the goal by Ramsey was a great strike, but all goals are preventable. If you want to be, a team that's going to rise up the league, you want to be a little bit nitpicky about.
Yeah. If that was Arsenal getting that shot,
I'll take it all day long. Right?
Well, I kind of feel like we wouldn't have seen that same finishing. That's the problem, right? We're getting that. We are getting that. We are getting that space. And most of the time, the ball's not even. The goalkeeper just looks at it as it goes over the crossbar. A lot of times, and that's the difference, right? We were talking about the way we finished after we went up 3-0. I would have liked to have seen we subbed out, right, Erdegaard, Maitland-Niles, and then Gabriel. I would have liked to have seen the way our subs flip a little bit because I felt like our pressing died. It would have been nice to have seen Martinelli come in first in that 60-minute mark when things started to get out of our control. And, had been going on for most of the half anyways, but Martinelli would have re-injected some energy in that front line as we pressed. And maybe we do get that extra goal, that 4th goal at that point. And then they have to sit back because they don't want it to get even worse. So that's kind of how I look at it there. I feel like we put in what Maitland-Niles and Erdegaard to shore up the defense some.
Yeah.
And it did the opposite. So it didn't really. I don't think it really slowed anything down for Villa in that sense. But I felt like we could have put more pressure on them and maybe got more goals.
Tony is struggling, so big up to Tony for being here and arguing with us for 2 hours about. Ray, where are Sam? Where's the Sammy stands? The Arteta stands. Sammy stands. No. Sam, I think, is moving over from Norway to England pretty soon in the next week or so he might be packing up. And Stan, what's he doing? Some kind of acting course right now? Voice acting, Tony?
Yep.
All right. So any other points on the Villa game? For me, this was I'm calling it a tier 2 tussle. Any teams there should be between 5th and 10th place. I'm calling that Everton, Leicester, ourselves, West Ham, Tottenham, and Villa. And it's important to win these kind of games. Gary's worried about how we're going to beat Liverpool. Honestly, Gary, I think our
I'm not worried about beating Liverpool.
no,
no, I'm saying
we're never gonna beat Liverpool.
my comments were we're like laughing at United. I'm like, we still got to play Liverpool twice. That's it.
Yes, agreed.
Win against Liverpool right now. No, that's not what I'm not worried. I'm not concerned about that. Like you said, the top 3 in the league aren't where we are gonna. They're gonna make or break our season, right?
Well,
We could lose all of them, and it shouldn't make a difference. And in the past, it's never made a difference. The problem's always been the bottom of the table where we struggled, right? You look at all the seasons in the past where we were a couple points off here or there. It wasn't against the top 6 at that point where we lost points. It was that bottom 6, right? I mean, happened
definitely.
many times,
No.
and we can
But the
anytime we
last
needed to
season
we need to finish in the top 4. You can look at points lost. When Leicester won, you can look at points lost. None of that was against the top 4 where we were going to gain the points. So yeah.
Gary, real quickly, 4 points from 6, not a full 6, but not a bad haul from. I think it was 10% of our home games Monday to Friday, 2 home games here. 4 out of 6 points, you'll take it.
4 out of 6 for what?
Palace and Villa. Win and a draw.
Yeah, I guess so. I'll take it.
Yeah. And of course, we know November is going to bring Liverpool, is going to bring Man United, is going to bring Everton. It's tough road ahead. The next 2 are important: Leicester and Watford.
2 of those teams are struggling, Ray.
2 of them.
No, Leicester isn't struggling. Leicester's actually looking really good.
I think I back us to beat Leicester. Actually, yes, they're decent, but I think we've got every chance of winning that game, and I don't think we should be going into that game thinking that we can't go and get 3 points. I think with Watford coming off the back of that kind of performance against Everton, maybe actually that might be the one that trip us up. So. Of the next 2, of the next 2 anyway. Yeah. So, and knowing us as well as we are, so I'd say 4 points.
Another 4.
Yeah, I'd say another 4 points out of those
at least. Watford getting better. Some confidence will be rising. Leicester won 3 in a row now. Tony, anything else from the Villa game, or moving forward with the other games?
Yeah, we can do the Don Juan Award.
Yeah. Let me just say one thing. August for Arsenal was bad. September was perfect. But October could be scary good or scary bad, depending on these next few results. The Don Juan Award, is it Lacazette?
I would probably say so, because if he didn't play, he probably made the biggest difference.
Mm-hmm.
You could go with Smith Rowe was probably the best player. And Gabriel did great back there. Anytime the ball they get back there is snuffed out right to begin with. But I'd give it to Lacazette because he did make the difference, I think.
I'll agree with you. Lacazette gets it for me. Tavares gets a really big, notable mention. I thought his energy down the left-hand side, and that consistency, if he keeps playing like that, he's going to give Tierney some competition. There, I said it. Matt?
Yeah, difficult for me having not watched the entire game and obviously only really seen a lot of the highlights. Did hear Tavares was very good, so I would understand him being in for a shout. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe Lacazette.
Yeah, and it's a little bit unfair just going off highlights. Yeah. Gary?
Okay, I'm going to say this game, I think everybody brought something. It wasn't like the past game where I didn't want to give anybody any kind of credit for anything because it was just poor. This one, I think everybody actually, we had 11 players out there that all brought something. Some for more portions of the game than others, but yeah, I mean, I think we wanted Lacazette in there for a particular reason. He actually did exactly that. So I mean, and I think Emil Smith-Rowe was kind of back and forth between the 2 of them. I believe in this match. Nuno did show up, and he gets an honorable mention. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so for me, it's between those two at the top there. I don't know. I think I like the Smith Rowe, so that's what I'm going to go with. I think Lacazette did what I mean. Lacazette was put out there to do a particular role, and he did it, right? And that so could he have done better? I'm not sure if he needed to, but he did bring what we were looking for out there. And Smith Rowe, I think, did shine a little bit brighter for me, but he could go either way. So
bringing goals to his game, Gary. We kind of asked for that at the beginning of the season. Our predictions: we needed goals from Pepe, Saka, and Emile Smith Rowe. And Emile Smith Rowe is starting to chip in. Okay, Carabao Cup. What are we doing, Matt? What are we doing on? Is it Tuesday?
It is on Tuesday, 26th, 7:45 kickoff.
Leeds United. We have a home. We have a home leg in the round of 16. We win, and we're in the quarterfinal.
And I have a home and away leg too, right?
Around December. We need a home and away leg.
I think with games coming up, personally, my priority would be the league. I think we need to rest. We're all talking about Saka and Smith Rowe and burning players out. I think this is the time for the likes of Pepe to get minutes. Get these guys off, give them a rest. We've got people on the bench who can do the job, and give them the opportunity. And then let's go again against Leicester. I'm looking forward to it. Don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to that game, and it should be a good game. But we've got enough players in the squad to go and do the job and give players like Saka a rest.
Okay, I'm gonna while you guys are talking about this, I'm gonna type up some kind of a team. Obviously, right? So Tony, what's your thoughts on Leeds?
I think it'll probably be a challenging game unless they just don't care about it, which I think they will, since they're struggling in the league from what they were last year.
They showed a little bit of spirit to get back into the game.
Yeah, to me, I would rest all the players that need resting. Definitely Smith Rowe, Saka. Want to play Aubameyang. I might give Lacazette 45 minutes to go there and prove it. Have Martinelli play 45 minutes because he needs time. Pepe definitely needs game time. But for me, the concern would be the back four who really played back there.
Pablo Mari holding. Do we stay with it, Tavares at left back? Or do we play Tierney?
I'd play Tavares.
Okay, and who's going to be your right back?
Who the hell knows?
I know who you'd want to play.
I know who I want, but he hasn't even been on the team sheet for like a month now.
Tom Chambers?
And I don't think he'll get it. He hasn't been on the team sheet for probably see Cedric.
All right, Cedric. I've got Chambers in there. I know you're sweet on Chambers. Gary, what are your thoughts?
For the next match? Sorry?
So what's your team? What you're thinking on the team? Brad Leno in goal, Tavares, Pablo Mari, Holding, Chambers.
Yeah, I mean I like that back five, if you want to call it that.
Who plays in midfield? Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
Yeah, I mean he needs to. I mean we need to find out if he's the man, and if he's gonna. That's where he's going to play. Then yeah, he needs to play that one. Who plays alongside him? If we're going to stick with
he plays Zombie or.
I think Elneny needs a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that'd be nice. That'll be good. That'd be good. Yeah, I mean, so we'll be a lot more solid defensively with those two there, I believe. Right. So, yeah.
You play Odegaard?
To me, Odegaard should play. And he needs some confidence, and this match should give it to him if Leeds rest their players, which we probably expect to see them do that. So yeah, he should be going against not the same talent that he would if it was a regular Premier League match. And then up top for me, I think Martinelli needs to play, but I'm also I'm also thinking that it'd be nice to see him start in the Premier League matches as well. But he needs to get more time. Who else do we have out there?
Balogun.
Oof. So we have Balogun, Martinelli, and who else?
Or more likely you're going to go for Eddie, probably. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
You can always go with Lacazette again.
No, I don't think he's
Yeah,
playing
no, he would.
on Tuesday after he
he'd come
comes
out
off with
injured.
that little bump. I think if he's going to be healthy, he needs to be healthy for the Leicester City match.
Yeah.
Right, so
So no,
Okay.
I don't. No, I mean,
Bruce.
even if he was fine, I still don't think I would have played him because I don't think he can give us a Tuesday and then a whatever Saturday Sunday return right
I'll
now.
get slated for Odegaard if I don't change that.
Yeah, no.
Sam's not going to talk to
Yeah,
you for a while.
Well,
that
to be
top,
fair, that's what you say when he's not having a good game. Hold a guard.
Well, also if I'm drinking a beer, I'll get
Yeah.
accused of that as well. You know what I mean?
Blame it on
and
the beer, Ray. Blame
Bernd
it on the
Leno,
beer.
Tavares, Pablo Murray, Holding, Chambers, Ainsley Maitland-Niles needs a chance. Elneny alongside him. I think that's a good midfield partnership. He's going to help Maitland-Niles. Odegaard in there for creativity. Pepe needs to come forward. Martinelli needs to come forward. And we know, unfortunately, Nketiah is going to get the call over Balogun. Right?
Yeah.
It's nice to win games and keep things moving, keep the run moving. So I think, obviously, we're wanting to win. How would you improve the Villa? How would you improve the Villa performance, Gary?
improve
Close out
it.
the game at the end. Be more confident at the end.
Well, no, I mean, for me, improving it. I mean, this is where we want to see the same 11 again, right? And they can just work on the things that they didn't do so well, right? Which for me would just be our finishing at that point. I mean, we played pretty good defensively in that first half, right? I mean, we were concerned about
Ings and
we were
Watkins.
concerned about Ings and Watkins, and to start the match off, Gabriel got him a yellow right off the bat, right, with some just
he got
shielding him from
himself
the
a
ball,
yellow.
right?
Should have been a red even.
Yeah,
Could have
I
been
mean,
a
he
red.
grabs him and throws him down, and that's they have to actually think about it, right? But you know what, and that's what we're going to need to continue to do, right? I think we were concerned with Ings and Watkins, and we basically said, nope, that's not going to be an issue for us today.
Yep.
Right? I mean, I didn't expect it to look like that when we just shut them out, right? So I don't think Leicester City. Who do I mean? Outside is Vardy as comparable as Ings and Watkins? Is that do we look at those two players and compare them to Vardy and go, you know what, that's about the same in terms of the threat to our back line?
I think they hold a little bit more threat. Vardy, Ian
across the pitch, really.
Daca.
You got Tillemans and all sorts.
Does that Dotson? Does he play? Does he start? Sorry,
he played today.
Okay, did he start? Yeah, because I know he's been coming off the bench and getting scores, but I don't know if he's been starting.
I can check that for you now before we go.
But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, we should be able to compete with other teams in terms of attacking. So for me, that should just be a wash. It's all who's better, whose defense is going to hold up underneath that pressure, because we should be able to put pressure on any team, and like you said, in that second tier and below. So everybody should get should fear our attack just like we do theirs.
Remember when Villa tried to sign Emil Smith-Rowe? Oh my God. All right. Any final thoughts, Matt? Thanks for coming on.
Matt and Tony, they don't get to get asked the same question, Gary.
Tony, go ahead then, Tony. Sorry. I always forget about Tony.
To me, we played good the first 60 minutes. Arteta needs to get a sub in 60, 65 minutes and get the next one in, or the next two in about 75. He waits too late. Should be making 80, 85th minute changes. And I don't think he picked the right players in the right order either. But as far as the play and the players, I wouldn't change anything. Just stick with those 11 guys for now.
Yeah, for Leicester, that's going to be a big game. We need to rotate for Tuesday. Matt, any final words?
Just happy we got the 3 points. The fact that obviously players came in like Tavares and obviously had a cracking game and pushing for that place. I think the fact that we actually managed to dominate for the majority of the match as well is really good to know. And it's for me, it's just the response after last week. I think the fact that obviously both manager and players identified what went wrong, fixed it, and off we went, and we bagged 3 points. So for me, it's just the response from the last game for me was the key thing. So I'm very, very happy with that.
Yeah.
And also the thing, I mean, for me, whoever comes in against Leeds, we should see some hunger from them. They haven't been playing for a while.
Yeah.
A lot of them haven't played in a very long time.
Odegaard, Martinelli.
So they should be. So they should be able to give us like 110% easy, right? A lot of effort in this match, right? They should be ready to go. If not, then you know what? Then it's not right for the team right now. And I think some of them expect to get more time. And if the one way to do that is to come out there and kind of like we've been doing in our last number of matches, come out there for 10 minutes and you can see what we're going to be about in terms of the way we're going to play. And then run away with the match. I mean, I think we should be able to win this 2-0.
Yeah. I agree. 2-0. We agree for once.
Yep. Yay! Peace on earth.
All is well in the universe.
Yeah. And you see, we can put a team out that's okay. It's not Manchester City. We're not Manchester City, but we can put another 11 out and maybe be competitive. Who knows? Tony, final words?
No final words. Not much of a voice today. Score 3-1.
But I will say, Tony, as cantankerous as you can be throughout podcasts, you do bring positivity right at the end. So you're saving your voice box, but we know that you're vibing positivity right now, and you want it to.
Yep.
Right, Gary?
Yes, sir.
3-1 again, says Riddy. What did you give a prediction, Gary? 2-0. I agree with you. Right?
I said 3-1.
3-1. Matt, did you give a prediction?
I'm going 2-1. I'm going 2-1.
All right. A little bit nervy. And Gary, final thoughts?
No, yeah. Like I said, really good match. We want to see it again. You know, once again, we had a 35-minute blueprint. Now we've got what I believe is at least a 75, 80-minute blueprint, right? So we know we can do it for longer, right? Complete game, you know, where they don't even have a chance. Let's see it. Let's see it. So far doing well. Everybody did good. Arteta did well, right? Arteta did well too, you know. So
minus what's up.
You won't hear that from Gary too much, but you heard it now.
He did well. He got the team. If that's this, you know, once again, this is what he wants, then this is what I like, right? So
took him a while though.
Yeah, so enjoyed it. Hey, hello, Dave, in the chat. So
Dave.
They struggled today, didn't they? They struggled today. What? It was tough in Manchester today. Liverpool was struggling out there. It looked like.
Listen, Dave, we're gonna have you on. Hopefully, you'll come on with us. We'll preview the Arsenal game. We're gonna slow you down. 3 weeks from now. 3 weeks from now, baby, you're gonna come up against Arsenal. So be happy now, but 3 weeks from now, you're gonna be sad. Okay. We're gonna stop that.
You're the only one saying that because
Ray says that full of jest.
He's been drinking. He's a little.
He's had a crate of them.
He's had his little half a beer and he's making crazy predictions.
Guess what, Dave? We're happy too. We won 3-1, and we got to sit back and watch some. Okay, lads, no panic.
Well, you know, it's seen Mr. Sir Ferguson sitting in the stands is like nodding his head like this for the whole time. You just like, then he left early. I mean, come on.
You seen the clip of Alex shaking his head, and it goes to Kenny Dalglish, and he's
just like he's just smiling, happy.
Happy days, happy days. Cheers, everyone. Take care, guys, and up the cannon. Yeah, Dave, we'll see you in a few weeks. We're gonna put a smile on the other side of your face, okay? When you met Arsenal, we won't be united. We'll be better. Right, Gary?
Yes, sir.
Gotta believe you. Gotta sell it, Gary. You gotta sell it.
Dude, let's win these other matches. We'll worry about that one a week before. All right, we'll see where we are because a lot of people are thinking the Watford match will tell us something. So we'll see.
Yeah, Watford at home, but Leicester away, we've taken only 4 points from 4 games away from home. We got to do a little bit better with that. But yeah, one of those was City away from home. So that's almost a non-starter. Thanks for watching, everyone.
That was during our preseason, Ray, you remember? That was preseason game.
It was a preseason. One of the 3 preseason games. We have a 35-game schedule.
You're so full of shit, Ray.
I'm going to take myself and my shit away for a couple of weeks, and you guys will fly the flag for me. Hit the likes, everybody. I'm going away for a couple of weeks, and but who knows? The system might be better without me. We'll see what happens. Say good night, Tony.
Good night, Tony. Even
See you
though
guys.
it's the afternoon.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Gary. Thanks,
All right,
Tony.
Good
see ya.
afternoon, Tony.
See ya,
Cheers,
Ray,
guys.
Matt,
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for
Tony,
watching,
everybody
everyone.
in the chats.